can never talk too much about booze. From what it says, the companions are just like you control them like you do in Mass Effect, which is a proper step down. Yeah, a proper step down from everything. Oh, I wonder why Bioware would take away features. Because they don't make games anymore. God, yummy. Smud, no one can hear you. Smud, no one can hear you. No.
How's that?
Chat.
Yeah, I know.
Smud. Oh my God.
Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, this is what happens. I decide to be a good guy and update my Windows, and everything goes wonky. So, yeah, it happens, guys. I do apologize.
What were you saying for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, I was saying this was mediocre. This is Dragon Age Inquisition all over again, and it looks passable, which is the best we can get from Bioware these days. So
I did call the accent of the main character today.
Oh, the British.
Yeah, I said it's gonna be a crappy British accent, and it's a crappy British accent.
Well, I bet they have two options, just like in Inquisition. They have the American gruff, and then they have the young gruff UK accent, I guess. Same with the female.
Well, but it's always the same. But it's always the same type.
Oh, I see.
It always seems to be they want to copy Hawke's voice, but we just don't want to hire Nicholas Bolton anymore. Weird.
Okay, I got you. Well, it was better than I was expecting. The bar was so low that I'm like, I'm happy the AI is not completely retarded. Although you see a bunch of scenes with Harding, and she's like just standing next to a enemy and just up to a wall, and you're like, that doesn't look right. That's not good. So
I watched a little bit of it to begin with, and yeah, I get what you say. It's like just like Inquisition all over again, and that wasn't great.
Yeah, it's quantity over quality, I would say.
It's making me long for Origins and actually the Dragon Age 2 combat.
I remember when they revealed the demo. Was it the demo for Dragon Age 2? I can't remember what it was. Like the 15-minute thing where you play the first intro as Hawks. All the 6 Hawks are lined up. You choose one, And I think it was the thief class, which was really fun, but it was so weak. Like, you just die. So it's like, okay, I got to change this up. You had that backflip, you had this escape. It was kind of fun. But you died. And it was like, oh, do I suck at games? Like, what's going on? So it was just a demo. Maybe you have to figure out the kinks. But after you get the mage class, like, why would I choose anything else? Like, the mage class is so good in DA2. And then you get the Inquisition, and then you get the specialization of, I think it's the Spirit, the Night Enchanter. And
the Arc Warrior.
That's from Origins, I think? Or is that?
It's from Origins.
Yeah. Well,
it's brought back into this one, but it's like, it's just crap.
The reason why Inquisition was a slightly better engine is they had the concept of armor, and the warrior class became suddenly so much more important, and that's why Solus was so important, because the spirit mage, and he could make armor for you. And the Night Enchanter is so amazing. As soon as you get the Night Enchanter, your attacks replenish your armor, boost it up. You could cast it on other people as well, and your ultimate revives everyone who's fallen and heals you. It's like, this is the most powerful class ever in terms of defense and just playing the game. Because the stupid...
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, sorry. The precise climber in the chat says, was Tevinter always so Orwellian?
Oh.
When I saw this trailer, I instantly thought 1984.
You know what was funny? When we saw the artwork, was it 8 years ago? When they revealed some of the sketches of what the place is supposed to look like, everyone's saying, this looks like cyberpunk. It looks like neon lights and all these things. And as soon as I saw the floating fortress in the sky, I was like, oh, that's a castle. And then we find out, no, that's a magical fantasy drone that the police have. And you're like, what? What is this place? Like, how does this place work?
It's really weird, considering the fact that Tevinter is based on the Roman Empire, or the Byzantine Empire. And they've actually just turned it into, say, 1984 meets cyberpunk. And you're like, right.
I was still confused.
This is not how it's
described. I don't know if you remember the other artwork. They had such little reveals back in the day, and it was someone with a bow, and the bow had no string, and it had this floating looking bullshit. And then the reveal we get on Monday, I think, was the bow is like a swirly string corkscrew shaped thing. And I was like, what the hell? Like, did they just go through ideas and never like change the artwork, or they just scrap that design? Maybe it's a weapon later in the game. There's lots of weird designs and fashion sense. Like, you see Nev's hat. She's got a little veil that does nothing over her face, and she's got this weird 1920s angle that women might have worn back in the day. It's like, okay, that looks very fashionable for someone who's a detective and fighting demons and is an ice mage.
Very fashionable for a setting that's the medieval times.
Yeah, there's something, the fashion's very, and she has a fake leg or whatever, and that looked kind of interesting. I was like, well, is she be running around? Like, I don't think so. I don't think she's very effective. And then there's the option in the gameplay trailer where Harding's like, who are you going to take to go push this giant statue over? And it's like, well, I'll take the tiny lady that has a functioning body, or the ice mage that can barely walk. And you choose Harding, and Harding was very pleased with this. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's good for her.
Do I choose the cripple or the fully functioning dwarf? Yeah, I never thought I'd be asked that question.
Yeah, I know. It's like, maybe the ice magic could break things for me. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to. How are we going to get this cripple to climb up all these steps and push this 20-ton rock face? I don't know. Anyway, let's get started. It's 20 minutes of stuff we already saw, and I'm sure you guys have already saw in the chat, but we're going to have our commentary, so there you go.
I hope Nev's as good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
Okay, so they are looking for Nev so they can find Solus. Let's keep that in mind for the next 2 minutes. So there's that episode 1 spaceship from Star Wars just flying above.
No, what I like is that they're still just reusing all the sounds from Mass Effect in this series.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Okay, cool.
Once you listen to all like the enemy attacks in a bit, demons, they just sound like banshees.
Oh.
From Mass Effect 3.
Oh no, I didn't. I was not aware of that. Oh God.
No, listen carefully, and then some of them sound a bit like husks from Mass Effect 3 as well, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh.
More of a hurry to get out of here.
Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
I feel like this is Arkham Knight.
It's very cyberpunk-ish, I guess, but just fantasy setting.
Well, I feel like it's. I've seen all this in this is Gotham City, but in like 1236.
Yeah. This means nothing to us.
You still think you can talk him down before he starts?
It doesn't feel like this is real time. For something about it just does not look. This is like maybe a super duper machine, but feels pre-rendered to me.
That ritual is going to tear down.
So why is that person just lifting a box to create a pathway?
In the rain, like what is happening? That everyone's working at the middle of the night to stack a box in the rain.
But Varric is walking there, and his character's now stuck, waiting for that box to move.
Hopefully,
like, why do you choose that as like a direction to walk?
Yeah, it's like a scripted event or something. But no, it's not. You can't actually like the pathfinding just stops. It's like we have to have this scripted like I don't know red light happen. You're like, okay, fine. Let's do this. Can you imagine navigating a city? Like if you're in Kirkwall and there's like all these people walking by and you're like, I can't move. It's like, thanks.
I don't like the voice actor. This guy.
Oh, the main character.
The Rook.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sounds so. What was it? It sounds like Ghost from Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2. All right, you've got to get this down, doing here, bro. I'm from London, right? So, oh, we get it. You're English. Oh, wow, wonderful. Ooh, you're common. Man of the people.
Well, Arveric is a was he a councillor or was he a city mayor? I can't remember. What was he the leader?
Viscount.
He's he's way up there.
So he's like the king of Kirkwall. So he should be perfectly able to sneak around the Vinter. No one will know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Only thing separating us from the. I have to talk him down.
That's the thing as well. They've now got to explain what the veil is again.
Yeah, this was an issue.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't work. People in this setting will know what the veil is.
Yeah, if you're in the magical kingdom of Deventer, everyone should know. But when
everybody knows everywhere.
Yeah.
Even in the Doglands of Ferelden, we know what the veil is.
Right, and the whole issue one of the major issues with Dragon Age Inquisition was the veil is broken. There's all these tears everywhere, and there's all these demons pouring out. It's like, oh my god, everyone's gonna die, and we're gonna get to this scenario very soon. And you're like, oh, we did this like a year ago. Like, guys, we're ready. Like, we know what to happen. Like, this should be a thing. You should be like, oh, there's a hole in the veil again. Here we call the police and get inside and get your armor on or whatever. So this should be a thing it's kind of like getting earthquakes or whatever. Like, oh, we're getting an earthquake. Okay, everyone do this. Like, there's a protocol. So,
like you say, it's just so. This is the problem. Inquisition raised the stakes so much that nothing afterwards was gonna.
Yeah, not only was it Veil creatures, it was like lyrium infused, powered everything. So everything was amped up even more, even though it didn't make any sense that red lyrium is not corrupting everything that comes near it. because we learned that in Dragon Age 2, even coming near any bit of lyrium will drive, or red lyrium will drive you nuts. So in this case, it's just tears in the veil. So it's just monsters popping out and causing havoc.
Also, Corypheus was trying to do what Solus planned to do, getting into the veil and everything. So I'm just like, I thought it's just the same plot again. It's like, okay.
I never understood Corypheus' motivation, because all he wanted to do was go to the veil and find the Black Kingdom or whatever it was.
Also, bear in mind, to defeat Corypheus, you send him to the veil.
Which is what he wanted.
Or the Fade, yeah.
Yeah.
The last words are, you wanted into the Fade. Here, you can have it. You get sent into the Fade.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
It's like, wait a second. It's like Dr. Claw going, I'll get you next time, Gadget. It's like, no. Gadget's like, here you go. Here's what you want. Off you go then. You're like, what?
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I do apologise. In the chat, I was under an impression that the breach incident was more of a localised problem that would eventually spread. It did spread everywhere. On the war table, you literally have to send people to stop breaches.
Yes.
In fact, all over the map.
This is the problem with Inquisition. It was marketed as like this. There was one giant hole in the sky, and in the end of chapter 1 of Inquisition, however you section that off, you use the Templars or whomever and you close it. It's gone. But there's other breaches. And then there's even smaller breaches that you come across in your gameplay. So it's never really clear on what exactly the breaches, how they come about, why, what's causing that. Because can you imagine? It's just like, it's just raining randomly. We don't know where the cloud cover is coming from. All of a sudden water comes and it's causing torrential downpour and destroying property. You're like, holy shit. How do we stop that? Well, instead of rain, it's blood-eating demons who want to like corrupt your brain or eat you. So it makes no sense. And then you have the red lyrium, and it's just even crazier, but red lyrium has been retconned. So in this one, we just have holes. We just random holes. It's just, again, it's Inquisition all over again. No real reason outside of Mr. Elven God person wants to do that. And you're like, okay. This is even more disconnected than Inquisition. With Inquisition, they just wrote it poorly. They could have done a whole lot with Inquisition. Like, can you imagine if it was actually about mages who get corrupted at a young age or whatever age, and you got to knock on every door, say, hey, do you have any mages at home? And you actually have to be the police and find out that you don't have a ticking time bomb, because mages are ticking time bombs by their nature, but this is even worse because now they're all infected, or they could all be infected.
To answer, again, I don't know how to, Vingran, I have that. He goes, yeah, but those breaches were still limited to Ole and Ferelden. Actually, if you go on the war table, there's breaches in Tevinter, Vicnaria involved in it, and they're off the coast. 3 cities, the Anderfels, have got it everywhere that's on the map. They've got breaches everywhere.
And it's not explained how those forces are able to close breaches. We don't know.
Exactly.
It's never... They don't even bother to explain. We know that we can do it. We're the only ones that we know can do it. But apparently the mages, equally the Templars, can do it as well. And you could choose either group, and they could help boost your abilities to close it. And you're like, oh, that's nice. But how do they do it? How do they naturally do it if this is a thing? Because it must be a thing. There must be breaches that have occurred before the age of Inquisition. So what's the big deal? I wanted to have this basic understanding so that the plot is not just some forced narrative that any old wizard worth his magical wand would know, oh yeah, we have a spell for that, or we have an incantation, or we have a defense. Because
that would have been something interesting with the way with Inquisition if he had done it so that the Inquisitor learns a way that everyone can help close breaches.
Yeah, like a magic from Flemeth, and she has this ancient spell that everyone forgot because it's been such a long time, and she's like, okay, maybe I'll share it, and she gives it.
If only they had someone who was close to Flemeth, like a child of Flemeth or something,
who comes in to save the day in the third act to help out everyone.
Yeah, imagine if they had someone like that. Oh well, we can only dream.
No, we don't want to save the plot. We want to resurrect the plot from Dragon Age 2 of a side character who just wanted to bring back the glory of the elves, but she was too scared and weak. And then here's Morgan. He's like, oh, I could do that. Like, what?
Hold the phone.
Where were you?
I'll be honest with you. Origins had a great plot, and bits of it dragged, like the Fade and the Circle of Magi, stuff like that. But you knew what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Age 2, alright, it wasn't the greatest plot, but it was just a rags to riches, quotation marks, story, and they were intending to have like the small subplots spiral into something more, obviously with Anders and the Templars and Mages. Inquisition just went, here's everything, just smeared it all over, stakes, look at this, oh my god, it's all crazy. And it made it so the fact that the next one would have to be even more, but you can't make it more than what just happened. And we're now just stuck at the point where they're going to make out that this situation is the worst that's ever happened, but it's just going to be the exact same as what happened in Inquisition.
Unfortunately, that's what it looks like, yeah. It's weird. I don't know.
No offense.
Yeah.
No offense, but like, seeing these demons come out in a bit, spoiler alert, like you say, oh, this happened before, we can deal with this.
Yep. We thought we need... can you imagine this? Like, the Inquisition was disbanded back in... I don't remember what DLC it was, but they... Trespasser, thank you. And it's like, okay, we don't need you anymore. We solved the problem. Great. And then, is this like a month or two? I don't even know what the time frame is. It must be a few years. And then they're back. It's like, oh, let's get the Inquisition going again, because they solved this problem. We know how to deal with this. It just happened a year. Like, can you imagine you had like a second 9/11? It's like, holy shit, we've been attacked by whatever. Wait a sec, we have all these protocols in place to prevent that. What happened? And then we double down even harder on these protocols. We get all these transit visas canceled. We do all this certification for flying planes, and there's all they stop chartered buses. Like, everything gets canceled. Like, we go nuts. Like, it would be a huge deal if you got hit by a second nuclear bomb. So this is like, oh, Tevinter, the place where magic is natural. It's like, oh, there's breaches. It's like, yeah, this happens every day on Tuesday, 2:00, with Bob down the street. It's stupid experiments.
In fact, we have like, little sausage rolls, and someone brings like little crepes. Gary actually gets the barbecue out and have a couple of beers and watch that breach happen. Yeah, good time.
We crack up our own breach and fry up our sausages, and we have a good time. We close it at the end, so we're respectable mages,
Last Thursday, the Andersons lost 2 children. 2 lucky bastards.
Yeah, so this is Dragon Age Inquisition, I guess 2.5.
Yeah.
Is that the joke we're going with? Okay.
Yeah, it to be honest with you, like, the issue is, and I know there's talk in the chat of like, apparently could be that there's a new Blight.
No, there isn't.
The thing is, we stopped a Blight before in the game.
Yeah.
And with one happening so soon afterwards, it won't have the same stakes as the first one, because I think it was 200 years had passed between the 4th and the 5th Blight. Is why no one believed it.
Yeah.
Another one happened now. The Wardens be like, oh, look, it happened again.
Yeah.
We're here.
See, that's a beautiful analogy, because this is what we've done, or they have done with breaches. It is the new Blight. The Blight comes once every few hundred years. I think 200 years is too early, because it happens every 1,000 or whatever. This is like every few years. So it's like, oh, this is our new problem. We have to deal with this ongoing, which just sounds really dumb, because these cities have been around for hundreds of years. Mages have been being born and dying for thousands of years. But just now, the past 2 years or 3 years, whatever it is, we've got 2 breaches going. So.
Well, Dragon Age, whichever it is, obviously with the year, say it's 9, because what was it? Trespassers is 944. That means that the Chantry and all that have existed for at least 944 years. And so they should be prepared.
Yep. They should have all kinds of defenses, all kinds of protocols. Just pull out those old scrolls, see what do we have to do. And, if this was reversed, if Inquisition came after, like Veilguard, because it's, oh no, what's all these holes in the sky? We don't know. No one knows. The Chantry's toast. You wouldn't have any access to information. Everyone's scrambling. And then you get the Chantry back, and then, oh, now we have the old gods come back. Now we know what to do. Now let's have a holy war. Let's have an Inquisition going. It would make
just realize, well, with this game, everything that happens at the end of Inquisition, how are they going to sort out what's canon? Because they left so many different things, and like, oh dear.
What happens to, who's Victoria? Who's the new, what's
Divine.
her name? The Divine, yeah. Who is the Canary?
Or Vivienne.
Yeah, who's the king? Like, there's all kinds of questions you're not sure. And how do you...
Well, like, it's not like you can just move, like we did with Dragon Age 2, or we just moved the Kirk Wall, and you're going to get bits and bobs.
Yep.
Because Kirk Wall never mentioned. It's not thing. This one, it's like, no, Tevinter is really big.
Yeah, and Dragon Age Keep, they're gonna have to do another Dragon Age Keep to just ask you a series of questions of who did what, who survived the Fade, and did you kill Logain or not? Like all those dumb questions. Like, okay, yeah, we got to go through all that again and figure out what platform this is. Like this, they got to figure out the save game transfer if that's still a thing. It's been 10 freaking years. Like, how do they?
Dragon Age Keep. I don't think it still works.
I don't know. It's weird. Let's just keep going. We're gonna be rambling on about this. There's so much information we don't know.
The problem is both me and you have been fans of this for years, and we know like little bits and bobs of the plot, which unfortunately I think most people who now join Bioware are like, I don't remember this.
No,
I think I've got save files that are older than most of the people who work at Bioware.
Yeah, I was about to say something along the lines of we're older than the people who have been. We've been fans older than they've been alive to work on this game.
Yeah.
Just kind of funny because we know better not to pay that much attention, but at the same time, it's just so funny to watch these trailers and you're like, okay, this can't be good. Anyway, here's generic NPC.
Wait! But I didn't do anything!
I see the Reapers are here.
I was gonna say there's something weird about all these spotlights. I'm hoping like that crunching sound with the Reapers crunching on buildings. Oh,
what is it that Harbinger always says? Rudimentary creatures of flesh and blood.
You touched my mind. That was Sovereign, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But that's what it feels like now. I don't understand. This does not feel like it's from. One of the issues is Origins and 2 felt like you were in a medieval fantasy setting. And it felt like its own world, its own rules, and base foundations. Inquisition, and now looking at this, it just seems to be like, nah, fuck it, it's whatever we want to do.
Well,
it's just.
The interesting thing about Kirkwall is they said it was like the focal point for magic for the rest of Ferelden. Like if something happens in Kirkwall, it affects everyone else. And I'm thinking that's interesting. Like it's a cultural influence because it's so old and there's slaves or whatever.
Well, no, it was a focal point for the Free Marshes. That's what it's called. The Free Marshes.
So it was influencing everyone. That was the point.
It's because it's where they used to have massive blood magic rituals. All the slaves.
Yeah.
And it's why the Bone Pit mines are so cursed, because they just used to take hundreds of thousands of slaves and just like walk them off the cliffs. Don't ask me, it's just what they did. And so that's why the veil was weak there. That's why people get possessed. And so there's all that between it. So yeah, it does sort of affect the views of mages around the Free Marshes.
Whereas Tevinter is this sort of like, we have our own society, we have our own culture, we don't really care, and it's fine, that's great. But it also means there's nothing that we can connect with. It's just this brand new place, and as you can see, they got neon lights and flying drone magic 1984 police people.
This does not exist in the world of Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Medieval World said, how technology advances in medieval fantasy game. Where were they in the past games of Dragon Age? They were just swords and shields.
The best you got was our gay gentleman with the mustache talking about
Dorian.
Yeah, how he grew up poorly, and you're like, oh, that sounds like shit. And it's like, oh, this place is freaking worse than what he described. Like, what?
The Qunari were classed as advanced because they had a very basic form of gunpowder.
Yeah.
That was equal to mages doing firebolt, but wasn't like, it's not like gun level of stuff. Like Varric's crossbow is the most advanced piece of tech they've managed to create in the Dragon Age world. And it's a one of a kind, and that's how backwards they are. Not backwards, but as in like how stunted it is, because obviously with magic, we don't need to invent new stuff.
Yeah, and the Qunari would enslave their mages, so they didn't like magic very much to begin with.
So that's why they progressed to have cannons a little bit.
Yeah, if they actually work with the whole magic angle, like everything's magic, all the power, all the energy systems, the lighting, how you progress in society, the bloodlines, the social standing, just how you cook food, everything's like magic based. Like it feels like a manga you're reading that some Japanese author went, oh, let's just have this crazy hierarchical structure of nobles and the have-nots and the middle class, and then there's all the assassins and all these other slaves. Like that, okay, that could work. That might be interesting. Like just the culture of Tevinter. But with this, it's like this is 1984. And you're like, I don't really like this.
Yeah, it's not Dragon Age. Also, I don't like the fact that Varric's got brown hair, dark hair.
What is up with the hair? I didn't even know
ginger before.
I didn't even know that was him in the previous trailer. Yeah, I was like, who is this guy? I recognize Harding because of Ali, but I was like, is that someone I know? I don't know this dwarf dude. And he pulls out Bianca. I'm like, oh, that's Ferric? Is it someone he knows? I don't know. Anyway.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Monroe.
Is it because of the bar? What does that mean? Was he drinking too much? He had a bad experience at a bar. Got kicked out.
Oh, don't say it's the bar that in the reveal trailer.
Oh no! Is that going to be the intro to the game, the tutorial level?
Do you remember that bar where you crushed yourself with that chandelier?
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to talk.
You would have killed yourself.
Somehow you survived, so you're a leader. Thanks, Varric.
I've seen retarded things in my life, Rook, but that was one of the most retarded. You were so lucky to live.
You're a mage. How did you throw that dagger so well? What's going on? Yeah, okay. Anyway.
We've got to help her.
Why? What is going on?
We don't have time to get arrested, especially.
Like, where is she? Like, where is this platform you see her that you can go run to help her? Like, where? This was a narrow street. Like, what happened? It's one of those things where I don't understand the setting and the scope. Does he have to, like, jump through Does he have to, like, parkour across all these platforms? I don't know. See, that looks like... Let's just rewind there. That looks like that is like, I don't know, 4 blocks away, if that's the angle of the light. And if that's the case, how do they even see that girl behind those buildings?
Why do I just get an idea that there's Newt Gunray on that going, shoot her!
It looks like a DS9, but for Star Wars. It's
yeah. Oh man, could you imagine if it was like a Commander Cisco up there? God, there wouldn't be any breaches in the face.
Just blow everything up. The poison gas. He's like, yeah, I just nuke them all. So, was that caused by the 1984 flying police drone, or is that something else? I didn't understand that.
2 minutes of Fade Rift, which doesn't mean anything. I don't know why Barrett's going, oh no. It's like, right, you've seen this before.
And
you know it's quite easy. There's a guy that can like seal them up.
Yeah, and there's a fade rift that I thought were green. This is blue. I don't know if that's different or special or spirit magic or whatever. We don't know. Apparently it's different, and everything's different in Tevinter, guys. We have no idea.
But we do have an idea, Smud, because it's like mentioned. There's like a codex stuff which describes Tevinter.
Yeah, I know.
And there's stuff, and there's people from Tevinter that describe Tevinter, and not once they say, "Oh, by the way, we have flying buildings that like shoot spotlights at people, and we have a tannoy that just goes, attention, citizens, this is Tevinter. We are evil. Muhahaha.
Curfew
anyway,
at 9.
Curfew at 9 and sports at 10. It's Tevinter Raiders versus Ferelden fuckers. I can't think of an F word actually. Not this.
Yeah, this is a bit.
This is them restarting just recently, going, Overwatch was fun. Cyberpunk seems to be in.
Or they're really pushing the bigots are into Tevinter, and because Dorian was gay and no one liked him, or a family whatever didn't like that, therefore everything's going to be dictatorial. We're going to have curfews. We're going to have police searches. We're going to have all these horrible things happen in this magical city because gays are gay. Gays are good. That's the message of the story. I'm just guessing.
Dragon Age has always been gay, though, Smud.
I know.
I was told.
I thought Dragon Age was purple, but it's just, you never. When you're on a tight budget, you got to do what you got to do. So.
I don't know if this was. Yeah, today on Twitter, I got told that I was a tourist series. Because I said that the series wasn't always overtly gay, and I'm like, hold the phone. It's like you're calling someone who's called Sarcastic Hawke a tourist of the series. Okay, no, fine, no, that's okay.
No, you have to have a Tumblr page, and it has to have all of your gay or semi-bisexual artwork of your favorite pairings, and you have to talk about it every month, at least once a week. So. Oh,
by the way, this person didn't know who Zevran was, so yeah.
You mean the gay assassin that's in all the games?
The guy who's... This is something I pointed out. Zevran was such an original character because of how open he was with his sexuality. It was so different from everything else. You first meet him in Origins and find out, he just sleeps with everything. You're like, that's different, that's new. In the modern Bioware games, that's the average NPC. Everyone just sleeps with everybody.
Yeah.
Also, about the Vingran, the Venatori basically took over. The Venatori don't take over. You literally spend time in the war table stopping the Venatori. This is one of the issues. You do so much in Inquisition. You do so much to stop everything in Inquisition. You wipe out the Venatori. You even can get into the Senate of Tevinter and actually kill high-ranking members of the Venatori. War table missions. I should know. I sat and waited for 13 hours till that mission was done.
All right.
And then all I received was a random staff that was useless by that point in the game.
All right. All right, we got a super chat from Threadnought. Thank you, sir. This new Mass Effect spin-off looks weird, but I hope the people who liked Andromeda enjoy it. Yeah.
It's always Mass Effect.
It's very colorful for a Mass Effect game.
I don't know. Mass Effect. Andromeda was very colorful.
Oh boy! All right, we're at 2 minutes. We got 10 times amount to go, but here we go.
We're too late.
The ritual started. We can still stop Solus before it finishes.
Okay, so this is where I sort of like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. The sequence of events. We don't know where the girl is. We don't know where Solus is, but suddenly he knows where Solus is, and all he has to do is stop him. And you're like, oh, I thought we were looking for Nev to find Solus. Now we know where Solus is. It's it better be a bad edit, because I put this on Twitter as soon as I saw this, because this is not how logic works or a sequence of events work. Because if you are looking for A, and all of a sudden you declare A, we know where A is, we have to go stop him. It's like, wait a second, you skipped a few steps there. So I hope it's bad editing.
Oh, we know it's going to be bad editing. It's just bad storytelling.
Well, just bad storytelling. Yeah, exactly. Find
this
Nev.
way.
Okay.
She'll get us to Dumont Plaza.
Watch out!
Tell me that does not just sound like the enemies from Mass Effect 3.
It almost sounded like the TIE fighters in Star Wars, just a little muffled.
It sounds exactly like not the Marauders. You know those big ones that were like Krogan and Taurians or whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
And they had like one big hand in Mass Effect 3. I can't remember what it's been a decade since I played the game. It just sounds the same, and it's. I hate the fact that they just reuse assets from Mass Effect into Dragon Age setting.
They do that. They do that all throughout. They did it for Dragon Age 2 for sure. I saw the idle animations, and I know you're familiar as well. You're very familiar with the scratch the head, the pointing,
the pointing to a thumbs up towards you.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll go up to you when they're angry. They'll start with a point, then they'll flip the thumb back to them, and you're like, oh my god, everyone does that.
Yep. It's great.
They rub the chin. Brutes. Brutes is the name of the enemy. Yeah, if you listen to them, they sound like brutes. They don't sound like pride demons, because pride demons and stuff go and like laugh and giggle and like not or whatever it sounds like. See, this is
Is Solus summoning demons on purpose?
My guess is the veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
And when the veil comes down completely?
See, that had to have been all scripted, or like, just you can't just have like models running through the streets, no collision detection. So something about that doesn't look right to me. If it was off to the side, I'd be like, oh, fair enough. But this is like real time, so it's like, how does it work?
No one moves that smoothly controlling a character. If you know what I mean. If you I'd at least hit one of the things.
Yeah, something's a bit fishy. It could still be true, and I don't know, but it just doesn't look right. I would not if I was a level designer and I said this is the scenario, and I want things to fly across the road I'm going to be walking into. It's like, oh, we got to make them non-collidable and very quick, so there's no possible timing for the player to be running and still hit that. Like, there's all these things you have to calculate to make this work. And it's more effort. It's more trouble than it's worth, is what I'm trying to say. So it's like, I wouldn't do it that way.
Also, like Jay Jemison says, running around between cutscenes isn't gameplay.
No.
Like, yeah, that wasn't gameplay. You could have had a whole cutscene of that.
Yeah.
Woo!
World
Gameplay.
is going to look a lot like.
So what is that?
A pride demon.
That is not how pride demons look, but okay.
No, not at all. That is like... No, not at all. Like, for a start, pride demons have legs.
They have gigantic arms. They have these spike jutting out of their elbow. And
they're all voiced by Mark Meer as well.
Oh, you're kidding. That's funny.
That's clearly Mark Meer.
Yeah. Well, they also have a chest. This guy just has a skeleton. I noticed that. It was kind of weird.
That's not. This is what I hate about it. First two games had a set design of everything. Everything looked the same. Inquisition came around, changed a few things, but it still had a basic. This is just like, well, we can make everything different. I'm like, ugh.
I remember fighting the first Pride Demon in Dragon Age Origins at the top of the tower, and that was like, oh, that was hard. Like, oh, this is cool. And then you fight another. Yeah.
Then Hawk fights him for fun. Then the Inquisitor fights him because they're just a low-level mook.
Yep.
You're like, ugh.
On this way. It should get us to Hard.
Oh my god, just rude cutscenes.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the doors quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Okay, so they must have traveled like 2 or 3 blocks. Is that that's not the same girl who was...
Same woman. Yeah, that's the Same woman, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. How could have seen her? They're so far away.
I don't care who's next to her. Is it the same woman? She's wearing it's almost like either that or just the same body and a different head.
I don't know. It's hard to...
I don't understand, because that woman's disappeared, by the way. She wasn't there when like you got control of the player. She wasn't there, but we didn't take her away anywhere. Disappeared.
Yeah, don't know.
I wish I could disappear from this game.
Harding.
Doing what I can to help. The ritual must be weakening the
No. She's not the hero of the Inquisition. What the fuck is wrong with you? What a description.
Was her name Lace? I had no idea it was Lace.
Yeah, Lace. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She wasn't the hero
so,
of the Inquisition.
So now we have 3 rogues on the team.
Yay.
I know. It's great. Great gameplay reveal. Let's show the 3 rogues. Like, what about the other classes?
Great gameplay reveal. What gameplay has there been?
Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
How many minutes are we into this?
We are 3 minutes in. Yeah, nothing yet.
But no, I can't have that hero of the Inquisition because there were 9 other people, at least, who were further up than her. And that's not even including the companions.
Oh, yeah.
Brett the bog cleaner. There was that gardener who gave you all the herbs. He's more of a hero than Harding.
Harding just sort of, we're going to go to a new location. Can you go there first? Sure. Oh, here's a ledge. We didn't go any further. It's like, okay, thanks.
Oh, I remember that cutscene. She went, yeah, it's a ledge. Like, whoa, thank God we got you, Harding. You're the glue that keeps us together.
We gotta give Allie Hillis a job. It's how it works. It's like, what do we do with this contract with Allie Hillis for 20 years? I don't know. Give her a side character.
What annoyed me was there was no sarcastic playthrough for Inquisition, because I'd have loved it just being, oh, thanks for that. This is a rubbish scout. We could just hire anybody else. We need her. I get it. She's small. She can hide in long grass. But other than that, what you could do? What was if things go up a ladder? Be here all day.
They put all that money into the musician for the tavern songs, I think. One of the memorable things of Inquisition were the random tavern songs singing about all your companions. I thought that was nice. A nice touch, but something you do after the fact, after you perfect everything else and make the game good and the story good. You're like, oh, we got some extra money left over. Let's hire a musician for random tavern songs.
Instead of being a musician is before the Trespassers DLC actually done it so you didn't have to wear those pajamas all the time in folk clothing and Skyhold. You use some actual different clothes to actually wear.
No. You get one outfit. It's okay.
Yeah, you get one outfit until like that DLC came out. And went, here's some actual interesting clothes. And you're like, thank God.
There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
It's Star Wars. Did you see that? Those crazy beams just attacking the Fade holes. What was that?
Not Dragon Age. Also, I don't know how to tell you as well, but at this point in the series, Varric should not be doing this.
Well, he's an old man now, yeah.
Bear in mind that Varric first gets introduced in 931 Dragon, and by the time of Inquisition, it's 944, so it's been 13 years. Varric's not a young guy beginning of Dragon Age 2. So it's like, right, so we are really just stretching out this guy. And if he says it's been years, it's like, okay.
They really liked that trailer in Dragon Age 2 when he was talking about the hero of Kirkwall or whatever, the champion of Kirkwall. And they just kept using him. It's like, we got to keep using Varric. Everyone loves him. It's like, yeah, but can you give him a send-off? Something? Anything?
They did give him a send-off in Trespasser, where he becomes the Viscount, and he lives happily ever after with Hawke and Evelyn and Fenris and Meryl and all the other ones. But now he's back again because no one cares about all the other characters. They're all the same. They're all bland.
All right.
No one's interested.
Here's Thread Out one more time. Is that woman Sokka in Katara's clothes? That is a reference I do not know. Could be the same voice actress. I don't know. It could be. I have no idea. Did Ali Hillis work on The Last Airbender? I don't know.
Most likely.
Yeah, possibly. Who knows?
I don't know. I never really watched it.
Yeah. It wasn't my bag.
But I've been told by knowledgeable people that it's terrible. I am joking. I am joking.
Let's keep going. Okay.
What about you? Okay?
We're good, but we need to move.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there. Where's Nev Gallus?
Hawk?
Doesn't have any, oomph to it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what to expect with the dialogue wheel at all because...
Yeah, the dialogue doesn't make any sense with stuff. So you've got shouting, stoic, and nice. What's the difference between shouting and stoic? Of course, it's just being short and blunt with each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm not...
Oh my god, Captain. I think it's 10 years after Inquisition. Oh my god, we're getting so far ahead of things.
Yeah, I don't expect great innovations with the dialogue wheel at all because they don't need to change much. And I think 2 and Inquisition did enough work to make it iconic and have all these little icons and images and here's the romance option,
2 did it really well. Inquisition is exactly like this, where you're these symbols mean nothing. And at least in Dragon Age 2, what you chose made your personality. Whereas these don't do anything.
There's a whole system behind Dragon Age 2, whereas you look at Andromeda and Inquisition, it was just, here's some fun icons, and you'll respond as the icons show. And in Mass Effect fashion, they'll just say whatever the writers wrote. So as opposed to what was written in the wheel. So that's nothing new, but this is why we're here. This is why we play these games, is for the dialogue options, the choices that supposedly matter, and the interactions. And this is whatever. This could have gone you did not need this dialogue wheel to happen. There's no need for it. So it's pointless. But they wanted to show the wheel. It exists. Good for them. Whoop-de-doo.
Wasn't she at the meeting?
Venatori got to her first, then paid off the bar owner to keep it quiet.
I'm not surprised our detective did something to piss off a cult of murderous blood mages, but their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Okay, so this is a good thing. This is where they showcase the choice you can make on creating your character, and you could join a certain faction, and one of those is the Shadow Dragons, whatever they are, and this is popping up. So it's like, thank you, game, for you saying you are an elf. It's like that's exactly what it does. So nothing earth-shattering. We saw this in the first game. It's fine. It's normal.
I do enjoy the fact that they've just literally picked something. Oh, Shadow Dragon sounds cool. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't
To me, the issue is it's like they just keep making more and more stuff up, and you're like, right, Shadow Dragons. It's like, who are they? What? Why? Exist for this game?
Yeah, we don't know. It could have been like a Templars. It could have been any other group that we know. You
were part of the Tevinter army. You know your way around here.
Soldier.
You were part of...
Yeah, that would have made sense. As opposed to a gang or some whatever that name. Like, how about the remnants of the Inquisition? That would have been nice. I'd like to join that. I remember that game. Maybe part of the Mages Guild. Maybe.
The Vingram says Shadow Dragons are some rebel anti-slavery group mentioned in the comics novels.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh my god. The issue is, and I know people say, well, it's not. The novels and the comics, even Bioware has said straight away, are disconnected from the games. And it's a fact that they shouldn't be introducing these things into comics for games. This is something that Bioware does constantly. The novels are canon. It's Bioware canon. There's two different types of canon, and they always mention it because it's so that player quotation marks choice isn't messed around with. The only problem is that the canon and the novels and the books are starting to get a bit messy because it's not like they haven't got one plan for it. So certain books aren't making sense.
There are a lot more books than or a lot of tertiary information or media from Dragon Age than there is from Mass Effect. There's a lot more writers as well in Dragon Age. So you get anthologies which are hit and miss, and they shouldn't be. Anthologies, especially, in general anthologies, you get random stuff. That's hit and miss. In a theme anthology, like the world is the same, like Dragon Age, like the Animatrix, like the Batman one, it's all focused on one thing. And unfortunately, the reviews of that were mixed. It's like, well, there's some of them that are good, and there's some of them that I don't even understand what was going on. And I mentioned the what happened to the Skyhold, the some spirit of regret from Solus ended up taking over Skyhold. They had to call in the Templars to control that, and it's like, this is weird. So a lot of weird stuff happens in anthologies, but there's so many novels. We have those really bad Netflix series, I think. Then there's the stupid animated stuff with Cassandra. Lots of crap. There's lots of crap out there. The comics I'm not even going to talk about. Those are probably garbage. So,
well, the problem is, especially with the comic tie-in stuff, is all right. They give you loads of information in the comics, but we start to miss out on it on the games. So, for a video game series, starting to having to go to other forms of media just to know what's happening.
That's a huge problem. Yeah, I've talked about that back in the day with Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, because there was all these filler we didn't have, and then they had to make filler in the DLCs just to people make sense of why Liara is a superhero, angry person behind a desk. So there's lots of problems with using tertiary sources. And if it's good, then great. Let it exist in its own bubble and just let it add to the flavor of the world. Not you need to read this to figure out what the hell the Shadow Dragons are. So
well, one of the best things I would say when everyone says, "Oh, well, Bioware makes all these books that are canon and everything." Mass Effect Deception is still canon.
Let's not talk about that.
And that book has been, that book just destroys everything. So the issue is don't just, when it comes to novels and books, it's all right saying, "Oh, well, we are canon." It's not done by a lot of the people who are involved with the games.
Yeah.
They can change stuff. So one book might just destroy everything. I get where people are coming from. It's something that I just disagree with, where they start putting stuff into a book, and then they go, "Well, you should read the book. Here's all this stuff."
Or the multiplayer was it online game for phones for Dragon Age 2? Was it? I can't remember what it was. What it was for? Maybe it was Inquisition, probably. But don't
Inquisition multiplayer like the Mass Effect 3 game.
Oh God, there was. I had no idea. Oh geez, I know they tried the multiplayer with Inquisition. I don't know if that worked out too well, but that was all microtransactions.
No. Yeah. Also, I'm just reading the comments and stuff. You'll be able to choose the world state in the beginning, but there is a basic default state. Yeah, it'll be a bit like Inquisition with that. The only issue is that the default state of the game just feels so disconnected to what can happen. We'll see how it goes, because at the moment in time, the gameplay so far, what we've seen, is running to and from cutscenes. There's not anything really we can go on right now with how the game will like begin and what you can like bring over. You have to remember that there's been a change of gaming systems, or different generations of it. And also you have to remember, do these new writers even remember half the stuff that happened?
Well,
Origins?
We haven't encountered a game loop yet. This is probably just the first part of the game, so I'm assuming it's a post-tutorial from the bar fight or the bar scene. Hey.
I'm just really putting across my point of thinking. Personal opinion and like stuff, but yeah, the additional stuff in comics and novels and stuff isn't good when it's bringing in all these things, and it's like, we'll just slap them in because maybe some people read this comic. I shouldn't have to go to a novel to find out who the Shadow Dragons are. If it's going to be important, I should be able to, beforehand.
Or at least have a section in the codex from the previous game. That would have been nice, but yeah.
Yeah.
Either way. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the thread knot one more time. That Frenchie talking to Smud must pay for that. The Frenchie. Oh my. Okay.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I just remember who he is, and I'll slit his throat later. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's French. No, it's fine.
We'll go to l'hôpital later. Okay, there we go.
This is huge, and this is nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry.
So that was the great inclusion of choosing your background. It's huge, but I don't know this place, so Harding, do your thing anyway. It's like, okay.
Can I just make a point? They've made the black guy a gang member.
No, they didn't. He's a nice guy. He's got swords and stuff.
I just imagine, yo man, this ain't my hood. I just...
What, mate? You said I'm not from here.
I'm not from here. This ain't my neighborhood. I'm from the east side.
I don't like Arsenal. What are you talking about? Okay, that's enough.
Arsenal,
All right.
Scout, follow me.
Also, another thing, he's got a sword as well. That is just knife crime. Black knife crime in the UK. Oh, it's terrible.
Okay.
Well done, Bioware. Based.
What's up? We've got company.
Demons, here they come.
See, this looks okay. I'm not impressed, but it looks fine. It's passable. Okay, so that means the dual-wielding thief can have a bow. And that's a new thing. That's a new thing. Thank you, Bioware. Now we have multiple weapons for one class. That's kind of cool. That's new. Thank you. It's kind of funny because everyone's a rogue, but there's two archers, so you're the one tanking all the hits. It's kind of funny. So probably not the best reveal trailer of classes, but it's like fine.
Right now, I'm just looking at like, okay, it's nothing that I've not seen before.
Oh no, this is nothing new. No.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. Also, where's like the any of your powers stuff? Even your basic.
He has one power at the bottom of the screen there. I don't know what it does.
Arrows.
Yeah, he has a jump attack. He has a normal attack. He has a spinning attack, and he's got arrows. He could stop and aim, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It could expand later. We don't know. This is better than what I thought. Of course, I expected crap, so this is at least better than that. So that was cool. So you went upward thrust and then downward thrust. That was neat. That was good.
Yeah. I'm just looking at like it's just like every generic game now.
It is more action RPG than it used to be for sure. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can't have what it was like in Origins, where it was just like almost you just poking a guy with a stick.
Yeah,
I get that now. Yeah, it was fun, but it was something different. And also with Origins and even 2, it was more tactical when you had to think about fighting. I'm sure on higher difficulties this will be more tactical.
Yeah, they're going to show the tumbling eventually, so that's normal. That's, again, nothing new, but for Dragon Age, it looks slick, it looks faster. It's not as fast as Inquisition, which is good, because I want it to slow down a bit. So
Inquisition was ridiculously fast. Point of like, what I'm even looking at.
With a Knight Enchanter, you're just mashing the button, because you're so invincible, you're just like boom, 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 boom. You're like, okay.
I know Castis says, didn't DA2 have the awesome button? No, the dev just says you press A and something awesome happens.
Oh,
and
no.
unfortunately, in Dragon Age 2, everything was A.
Yeah.
And yeah. As well, as for the skills, I also think that the disabled level in the gameplay trailer, as there are 6 skill trees confirmed for each class. Yeah, that's fine, but it's one of those things where I'm just a bit like, with a Dragon Age game, the skills are important. They could have just shown a couple, and not just, especially with a rogue. If it was a warrior, I can understand just the hacking and slashing. When it comes to like rogues or even mages, you've got to show what else they can do.
And all we got is he can dual wield blades and he can fire a bow. So
they'll probably get better as it goes on. There's still minutes left.
Yeah, this is all baseline, nothing amazing, nothing bad. This is normal stuff and it looks okay. So
I'm not saying like, oh, this is terrible. I'm just saying I don't understand why people are jumping up going, oh my god, this is amazing, this is fantastic. Oh, this is great. It's like, well, calm, just chill a little bit.
Yeah.
It's stuff we've seen before.
I think that's the last.
To Dumont Plaza and find Nev. Patch yourselves up if you need it.
You are in violation of Imperial order.
I don't get it. If Solus tears down the Veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
Solus always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the Veil, and he wants to bring it back.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process. Venatory cultists!
So we just saw 3 Veil creatures just take off, and now that cultist just popped up out of nowhere. You're like, okay, are we fighting cultists now?
That Veil disappeared.
Yeah, it's just like here's these awesomely fearsome beasts. Now let's fight some dudes. You're like, what?
No, but do you see how it disappeared? It didn't like close up; it just disappeared.
Yeah.
As in, like the pixels just went gone, and it was like, oh, that's a bad transition.
Yeah, you wanna show the villain, and then you wanna fight the villain. You don't want to be like, oh, here. This is like the 3rd time we see these dogs, and they just take off, and you're like, oh, okay.
Who's betting? They're showing all these like demons and stuff, and you know, like how in Mass Effect 3 you fight Cerberus more than you fight the Reapers. We'll end up fighting like humans more than the demons and stuff.
There'll be demon-controlled humans or whatever. Yeah, it'll be something like that.
Also, well done to whoever, I can't remember who it was who sent that super chat yesterday about the Venatori being bad guys again. In this game, you got it right because he's a Venatori. So yeah,
makes sense.
Hate these.
You notice how there's no boxes or hidden walls on the railing there. So there's or the end of the wall or the end of the walkway, so you can't actually fall. It's like, oh, you have to worry about, no, streamline it all. Just go down the path. You're fine.
Like the Venatori put up a barrier to block.
Wow, what a strong barrier. You just hit it with your sword. Looks like the Venatori had this giant obstacle. Click. Like, okay.
You could just press A.
Yeah, press A to solve problems. Like, thanks, Eric. Huge problem there, but thanks for noticing.
Well,
that's a weird indicator. These triangles flying at you, whatever those are. Is that an actual object? No, it's an indicator. They're going to throw something at you. Like, oh, cool.
All citizens must remain indoors until the magical anomaly is fully contained.
Oh, come on. Guess we're sliding down.
Okay, again, new. Haven't seen this before. Always nice to see new features, even if it's just a transition.
Had it in Inquisition.
They did?
That in Inquisition.
Oh, I didn't know that. I can't remember.
Certain places you can jump down stuff.
Oh,
Slide down like that.
all right. False alarm. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
This is something that, like, I played a lot of Inquisition when it first came out. I don't know why. I was a sucker for punishment. So I've seen this gameplay like 1,000 times. I'm trying to look for something like new to like drag me in, and it's yeah. I just at this point in time. I'm like, okay.
Nothing special here.
They're not showing, obviously, like I say, we need to see skills. We need to see how you can actually fight with full companions, stuff like that, how that gameplay goes. Because I know this is like, obviously, like the prologue bit. So it's going to be different to the actual meat and potato of
I always want to see stuff that, I always compare to Dragon's Dogma because you can do so many things in that game. You can grab things, you can throw things, you can jump on top of things. I was hoping the Thief class would like get behind guys, hold them as a shield to protect against projectiles or whatever, and then do things behind their back. Like stuff like that. That would have been like, wow, I haven't seen this before. Or this game did something close. They took that and worked with it. And that's why they spent 10 years on it. Like something along those lines. But this is just, yeah, we've seen it before.
They're allies of Neb Gallus! Kill them all!
All right, so we see this weird wheel. I guess the middle part is you, the left part is Varric, and the right part is Harding. And he's got one skill. Yeah, one skill. No one has any skills. Not much of a gameplay reveal when you got nothing to show. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I get that they're trying to like hide a few things, but you could have just like some basic stuff.
Yeah. One skill. One skill. It's like, okay, thanks. Thief
like,
class.
Show like Harding having a skill, so you can show her doing something.
I think Hawk and Dragon Age 2, the demo, had 3 skills you could use. So.
No, I think you could also show what your sister could do as well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Tetris. The Venatori own these streets.
The Venatori, we're Italian. Hello, doing?
Oh my god! Why they? Oh, this just breaks so much stuff because these are not meant to be fucking Italians.
Well, it's what it sounds like. So.
They're meant to sound really like posh British.
Oh yeah.
That's the idea. The Tevinter Empire is based on the Byzantine Empire, but also bits of the British Empire. With stuff. So they've got the smug arrogance of the British Empire. So hearing them talk like Italians, I feel like it's a me, a Mario, ha ha, with the Venatori. Like, who are you?
How did you get in here?
Luigi. Luigi, show these bitches what we mean by a business.
Do you have your papers, please? I don't think you belong here, sir.
Mamma mia. Will it turn you into demon food?
Oh, yeah. It's really pulling up the Mussolini vibe with all these draconian laws coming around. Let's have some Italians in here. It'll feel great. It's like, oh, what's next? Japanese? Like, what are you going to do?
This is the problem with, like, this. Dragon Age was done originally. It was dark fantasy, but it had a setting of Northern Europe. And it was a setting that has had to change so much because of how Bioware has changed stuff. So things that were set in lore have now had to be twisted and bent. And we've now got Italian Venatori. When the Venatorian Inquisition weren't Italian.
Yeah, I remember Zathras had that Spanish vibe. It had some sort of Western European flavor to him. So that worked okay, because he was exotic.
But the Venatori are the supremacists of Tevinter.
Yeah.
And the leading houses that got are like posh British. But it's meant to go against the almost common accents of Ferelden.
It's noticeable. So, maybe this is the random voice actress they got just to fill in the role. Maybe they'll change it later. Who knows?
God, I hope so, because if I have to deal with Italians, an entire game, I'm like, oh my god.
A bunch of Venatori screaming at each other for no reason. Like, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Varric, UK? No, I got spaghetti. I think I'm past my due date. God.
Why are all these people drinking at 6 a.m? I don't understand what's going on.
You better just spill a fresh vino.
And the one
was from New Jersey. Italian mobster from New Jersey.
What are you doing here at 6 a.m? Who works at 6? I'm the Venatori over here. Leave me alone. Let me get to work. Okay.
You come at me. I'm there at my daughter's wedding.
You want to beat me up? I'm a blood mage. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, I'll get stronger. That's what's going to happen. Okay, leave you alone, buddy.
Bada bing, bada boom. We turn you into food paste. We let the demons come in.
Oh, God. Okay, we'll stop.
Yeah.
Take your revenge!
There's Harding just standing next to the wall there. I don't know what that did. So he just touches things and they just open. He just hit a literal gate that prevents you from going through with your sword. No problem. Giant ice sphere wall. Just touch it. Things break down. Like, okay. No one knows who this guy is. No one knows who Nev is. We've never met. Just that's how magic works. You just touch it and it breaks down.
I also like this. Vingram says, all the companions, you just can't control the fourth companion, or the other companions you've got. Because if you can't control the companions, then that's a step back.
Yep.
In Age games.
You can't
control.
You could ask them to use their ability like in Andromeda, but you also couldn't control them there either. So, oh my God, is this going to be another Andromeda?
But in Origins 2, in the Inquisition, you could literally take control of other characters.
Well, that was the whole thing with Dragon Age when it came out. And Mass Effect, because Mass Effect was like, oh, we wouldn't let you do that. And then in Dragon Age, they did. And you're like, oh. It's like, why couldn't we control Varys? Why? That would have been great. and they never did that at all throughout Mass Effect, and they let you do it in Dragon Age, and now they just stopped for some reason.
They've had to step back. So if that's true, I'll see what I mean. But
Yeah.
if it is true, then that's a downsize or a downgrade.
Yep.
In gameplay.
Varric, hiding. Not the worst timing.
Nev, it's so good to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have...
This is just Vivienne 2.0, I guess. That's what it feels like.
Figured I'd play along. This time. Then the sky started raining demons. So I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Some old friends said if I was working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are worth trusting.
We haven't got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solus?
You get right to the point. I haven't seen Solus in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in elven ruins. I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go. Before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god.
Does the detective forget what people tell her?
Yeah.
What? This scale is like really big, honey. Well, 12 mages. Like, no, honey.
Yeah. I love that 12. You're like, really? That's not that many compared to what's usually in Dragon Age.
Yeah, this is, I mean, if you're the best detective I've ever met, you would be like, oh, I know the scale. I know what you told me. I believe you. Okay. Which is
There's like 5 blokes over there. It's massive.
Yeah, they made a really big fireball. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. What?
Are you insane?
Honey, did you hear what he said? An elven god. Like, I don't know what that means, Varric.
Whatever he is, let's go.
All citizens in
I know that's meant to sound really cool and like, but it holds no weight.
Yeah, when you have a detective character, they are either supposed to be one of 3 major archetypes, and it's usually they're the smartest one in the room or they're the slickest one in the room. And this is just, I'm generic person and I know stuff. It's like that could be literally any job, any person, any friend. There's nothing for me to say this is a person who's got their ear to the ground and knows how to talk. Like what's the pattern? What's the stereotype that this style of like the magical detective? My brain is still like, what does that mean? How does that work in a fantasy setting? I don't know. I'd like to
like a magical gumshoe or something like that. You know, some guy who's like, you know, not guy up person.
I was thinking more of an Archie Goodwin sort of character from Nero Wolfe. Like where Nero Wolfe's the super smart dude, but he's like the gumshoe, and he's just he has the connections. He's really friendly. He knows how to get people to talk, so that when he goes back to his boss, Nero's like, "Thank you. This is the exact information I need. Let me do the rest in my brain." I don't know what. Like again, she feels like a Vivienne that's just there, and I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Vivienne was like, I am nobility. I am this high-ranking mage, and I am special. It's like she had this attitude. It's like, thank you, I get it. This is just generic person, and I don't feel detective vibes from her at all.
This is one thing that always annoys me with Bioware stuff. It's like, this is a detective. It's like, right, what we do? They just a normal companion. Like nothing beyond it. It's like Mass Effect 2. You got Samara, the Justicar. What is she? Nothing. There's nothing special about her. Oh, okay.
They really wasted a lot of potential with all the characters, especially in Mass Effect 2. The DLC characters, it was just like, this is all you did for one scenario? You didn't give her any personality that you could have easily...
They might as well make all these characters just, here's just a bloke who can throw, who can shoot arrows, here's a bloke who can stab a sword. There's no point having all these different, like, descriptors of them, because it means nothing. Like, okay. Like with Origins, everyone's background meant something, and it had a purpose and part of the plot. Now it's just like, oh, we've got a detective here. Okay, what does that do with the plot? I don't know. He just joins you and just fights people, right? Oh, we've got this veil jumper. Oh, what does she do? Oh, she just stands there in the group and fights people. Right, okay. So, yeah.
It's going to be a generic plot point. This is the person that can open the door for us to go to the next plot point. And if you're called a veil jumper, then it's literally a door or a tear, and that's the thing you have to go through. And she's going to be the one to figure that out. It's like, okay. It's like the who's that character in the Matrix, the keymaker or whatever he was, the locksmith dude. Like he's literally makes keys to open literal doors. You're like, okay. Very generic.
Must remain in their homes.
Well, we're not in Minrathous anymore.
Oh
I know
my
these
God.
trees. This is Arlethan Forest.
And there's your ritual. The power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
That I don't know about that line.
Of course you haven't. They had 12 people.
Yeah, that line felt so phoned. I don't know if you want to hear it again. It felt so phoned in, like she just does not care to do her job.
Also, I can't take her seriously with that thing on her head. What the fuck is that?
What is it? Is it fashion? Is it useful? Is it like you're a fighter? You can't wear a freaking like 1920s veil. Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to understand like the fashion choices in the series now, but they're all over the place. I just don't care.
That's true.
Well, this is Arlethan Forest. Wasn't Arlethan... I don't remember what Arlethan was. So I think it was mentioned in the Inquisition, and it's weird that it's not getting... And it's also weird that Scat Harding would know it. I don't think Scat Harding went to Arlethan in the Inquisition.
We'll just go with the fact she knows what trees and fauna look like. You're like, all right, fair. You know, you're a scout. You would know stuff like that. So whatever, fair enough. I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's the ancient elven capital of Arlethan. Oh, meant to be destroyed and everything. So I'm just looking up bits and bobs on it. Right, okay, so Harding's been there. Right, okay. That she recognises a place she's never been to before.
I think every mission you go to, you always get your little sit rep from Harding. She's like, yeah, this is where we saw this and this happened. You got to go over there, and off you go. I'm like, okay, thanks. So.
I get that because you can to places. This place is like... Also, Arlethan is quite important and everything, so I don't know why we're just like, oh, okay. We're here.
Okay.
It's like the ancient elven capital. That's quite important. Yeah, we're here. Wow, okay. Glad we've been revealed this.
Hey, it's a statue of Solus. Look at that. Isn't that great?
The tremors are getting worse.
You just got here. How would you know? So maybe there were tremors in the city, and now there's new tremors. I don't know. It's kind of, we just got here. The tremors are getting worse. It's like from what, 5 seconds ago? What Do you not like tremors? Like, you're very sensitive to tremors? What's going on?
It might not just like enjoyable movie franchise. I don't like Tremors 2, 3, or 4.
Okay.
And we've got demons.
She does not sound like she's interested.
No, she's just, I want to get my paycheck and go get my bubble bath going. That's pretty much it.
Hold on. Someone's talked about Arlefin City. Yeah, Arlefin City was destroyed in the war between Tevinter and the Elves, and it turned out the Elves actually destroyed the city itself, Solus. So it's kind of a big plot point and big like reveal. So the fact that they just gone, Arlefin. That's why I'm just a bit like, does anyone care about the lore of places anymore? Does anyone care about what we're actually looking at here? Because, this is the ancient elven capital. And we're just like, okay. Also, why do the demons just stand 2 foot in front of the squad to begin the battle? Anyway.
I thought the demons were bad back in Minrathous.
The Fade's a mess this close to the ritual. No telling what could come through.
Does it feel like those tremors are getting worse?
Keep moving and try not to think about it.
So this is a Pride Demon. Looks almost nothing like the original. It looks like a skeleton of a Pride Demon with these weird veins popping out of its body. So maybe the demons of the Fade are all undead now. I don't know. It looks very different.
Also, the combat is very bland. I'm just going to admit this here. Like, in previous games, you can pause, you can go into tactical view, you can position your teammates in different places, tell them which ones to attack. In this one, you just, I'll just keep spamming the attack button. While my companions stand awkwardly in a corner. I was watching the mage just be right in the middle of a melee fight. That's not... You don't do that. You keep your mage at the back to provide support and cover.
I want to see more than just one skill or one ability like that. There's nothing to do in that activity wheel or the action wheel. So it's like, why even show it to us if there's no strategy? It's just like, okay, here's a tactic, use it. You're like, and then what? Use it again. It's like, that's all you can do. Like, you're not selling me on the gameplay. This is the problem with this as a whole. This trailer as a whole. They're not showing me anything I want to buy this game for. There's nothing really nostalgic. There's nothing inherently lore, like, oh, that's a cool bit of thing I remember with the characters or this. There's just Solus, I'm going to bring back the Elven Kingdom. Blah, blah, blah.
Empire.
Yeah. You're like, I don't care what happens to the result. Like, okay, yeah, that's the same thing you said last DLC.
Bear in mind as well, the Elven Kingdom was so evil that that's the reason Solus destroyed it in the first place.
Yeah, he kicked out all the Elven gods.
Yeah, now he's like, oh, I missed it. It's like, yeah, but it was so evil, led a rebellion. Yeah, but I miss my friends. I'm like, they weren't your friends, they were your enemies. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you had to consume the goddess that was inhabiting Flemeth or whatever. So it's like you have all this power. Like, what are you doing? What have you been? It's been years since the Inquisition, and now you're just like, I want to know what's going on. Because he seems to take a lot of time to do something. Even in Inquisition, he was just waiting and waiting and waiting to do something.
It's like So if this is 10 years after, what has he been doing for 10 years? Because at the end of Trespasser, he seemed very close to beginning what he wanted to do.
I'm going to guess it's been at least 1 year. I can't see 10 years. That's way too much time.
Yeah, so do I. But also the problem is as well, if it's been 1 year, then everyone's reactions to Fate Tears are weird. You know, but we had this problem with Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age Inquisition, where Dragon Age 2 ended in 940, and then Dragon Age Inquisition didn't start till 942, and Varric was still a prisoner, even though he was released in 940. So supposedly he was still a prisoner for 2 years. And it's like, it doesn't make sense why he'd still be there. So with this, it's like, if it's 10 years later, everyone would just sat around waiting for 10 years? Okay. Obviously there'll be more plot to it, but from what I'm like getting from this, it just feels I don't know, there's a disconnect.
Yeah, there's not enough to say if this is it's not a vertical slice like a demo would have a vertical slice of every little feature of the game. It doesn't showcase any skills aside from one class. You have the 2 archers, which are essentially the same in terms of AI, in terms of they didn't show any of their skills either. And then you have the mage, and again, no skills there either. So it's not about gameplay. It's not about dialogue. It's not about graphics. I mean, you could argue this is looking fine on modern machines. Like, fair enough, it looks good. But
it looks like it should do in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing. They're not pushing in the envelope. They're not selling me on a feature. They're not giving me any There's nothing. The dialogue wheel is nothing special. We've seen that decades ago.
Yeah.
So
you should have done better.
Yeah, there's really nothing here that is catching my attention and going, why should I play this game? If I know nothing about Dragon Age, like there's nothing I should care about here. Aside from you're changing the design of a Pride Demon, I want to know why. It's about the only interesting thing. I'm like, what is going on here?
I'm interested. If like the new fade means that like the demons are coming through like skeletons, cool, that's interesting. But just showing us this, it's like
yeah.
Thing.
No idea. I don't like the detective character. Harding is Harding. Varric is Varric. And the new guy is just generic, I'm Hero Man. So, no, there's nothing.
Yeah, right. Like, at least with like the Warden and Hawk, there was character. They felt like characters. Like, Rook just feels like, we've had to find... yeah, that's a guy.
It is a generic guy, exactly, yeah.
He has to be so generic so people can, like, imprint, and it's like, no, you don't have to be that generic. You have a bit of character.
All right, here's the thread out one more time. Thank you, sir. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, just pick any random quote about traveling or whatever. Yeah, not feeling it yet.
Those tremors getting more. Just close your eyes and don't think about it. God. A number of times I can tell my missus that.
It's not the heat pump.
Yeah.
We have to stop this demon quickly.
Look at that. Let's pause the menus. We have one skill, which we already have hotkeyed. Like, why? Who cares?
I love that. The ability wheel is used to issue commands and direct your companions. Locked at this early point in the game. Then why show that? Also, why is it only 2 slots? Are they lowering the amount of companions you can have now?
Yeah, there should be. Well, there's yours. There's the 3 others. So I don't know.
3 other people.
Maybe Varric is not a companion. He's like a tag along.
Well, I don't know because I don't know who's the companions.
Probably early enough in the game that you only have the 2 companions. Also, hi.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm so relaxed. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not paying attention to it.
I'm very late.
That's okay.
That's because I was doing other things. But it's a shame because I want to talk about how dog water this game looks.
Go on then.
Yeah, go ahead.
You've got time.
Well, it looks like dog water.
Oh, okay.
And we're 12 minutes in, so I haven't seen the full gameplay reveal. I just saw like part of it and the trailer. and this game looks like complete. It's like you can tell. I could tell just from the reveal and from the little bit I've seen of this that this is clearly like the skeleton of an MMO or like a live service multiplayer that they retooled to be single player, and it looks awful.
I don't know how they're going to come out with this year. Like the year's almost half over. I'm like, how? And I made the joke about they're going to announce.
I can tell you how they're going to come out with it this year. It'll be half finished, and they'll spend the first 6 months of release patching it into a functional state.
Oh,
after they charge you $70 plus a season pass for it.
I'm sure they're going to have patches, but I made the joke that they're going to announce, or they're going to have the release date on December 31st or whatever, and then on January 1st they're going to announce an extension because there's no way they're going to finish this. There's nothing here. Like there's no gameplay. There's just one skill thing. And you have a bunch of generic attacks that the one thief class has. And there's only... Because remember, Inquisition had, 9 companions? 1 for each specialization of each class? So...
Vingram just said, no, 2 companions travel with you at a time. And the 4th is usually a story companion. So they've lowered the number of companions because you have 3 companions.
No way! Why would they...
So they've made it... They've cut down.
You've had 3 companions in every other game before now.
Yeah.
And then you can control each companion. So now you have 2 companions and you can't control them. So that's a downgrade.
Was it 2 or 3 in Mass Effect?
It's always been 2.
So this is just fantasy Mass Effect.
Yeah. I'm really glad that Vingram's putting this stuff up. Like, getting some good information here. So thanks for that. But yeah, if you're celebrating this, then you're taking a step back.
Apparently, while we were waiting, like this was announced a day or 2 ago. Apparently, the Dragon Age YouTube channel was answering questions, like the first day, and I didn't get to read them because the scroll wasn't high enough. But people captured it, so they were revealing all the information of how some of the gameplay works, how you could choose your clan or whatever the faction is at the start of the game, which influences things. And we saw that, but there was nothing there. It's just like, I don't know. I work here, but I've never been here before. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah. I'm part of the Shadow Dragons, but I've never been to this part of the city. Really? You've never been to this part of the city? No.
Yeah. Usually in an RPG, when you make a character sheet and you start off with this skill set or whatever, it's like it helps you in the game. It's like, you're from this part of the city. It's like, no, I'm not. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but not going to a certain part of the city. Like, I don't live in a city, but I live in quite a large, almost city. It's still classed as a town, but it's almost a city. I think I've been everywhere. So, I know most of it. In fact, I know most of the surrounding area. Like, I just deliver stuff, and I know more than this supposed gang member.
It's kind of funny. One of my uncles was a delivery guy, and he knows every street in Toronto. Even today, he could tell you where to go and how to get there. It's kind of funny because he did it for so many years. So I've been around the city, but even then, it's like compare the size of the metropolis to Venatori, where it's all tight streets and everything. It's like, okay, you should know.
There's a lad I work with, and he used to work with my dad as well. He can tell you the exact street you're on by the potholes that are in.
They haven't fixed the potholes yet.
No, but as in like the holes or anything, or the turns in the road and everything. So he'll be asleep, and we'll be in the Peak District, which is a massive national park. And you go through all these roads, and he'll tell you exactly where you are. Even if he's asleep, you ask him, where are we? He'll pinpoint exactly where it is because of the way the road is. And that's just him doing a job for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, a guy who's supposedly a gang member in a city should know, a reasonable amount.
It would be nice. It would be nice to get that little personalized touch, like, I know this place, and I know where to go, but Harding, I want you, like, I don't know, get a gameplay buff, something. I don't care what, but keep the main plot where the choice you make doesn't affect what the main character or one of the main characters do. That would have been fine. But it was just purely cosmetic. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know about this thing. Okay, fine, whatever. It's like, that's stupid.
Remember in Origins where your origin actually meant something?
that was the beauty of Origins. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god, that was from 2009, and here we are in 2024, and we've got I'm a Shadow Dragon. And what does that do? Yeah, I know that area. I live in that hut. I know that hut really, really well. The rest of the city, don't have a clue.
That's because in 2009 they what's the word for what they were feeling when they made the game? They cared. And now everyone who cared is gone. So
yeah, Bioware as a company, just if you look at their Twitter, you can see what they care about, and it is not making games. Honest to God, it is not making games.
No, they care about. I mean, they don't care about like the game being, fun or well designed or whatever. They care about how much representation they're getting for whoever in their new game. That's all it is.
Yeah, I would compare that time period
gaming is now
of the first game when they just came off the backs of Jade Empire, which was a cross between Dragon Age and KOTOR, where it's a weird system and the setting is kind of interesting. I wouldn't say it was a good game or a great story, but that's what they were going off. They say, okay, we want to do our own flavor of Baldur's Gate. We can't use the license, so okay, fine. What do you want to do? Make our own fantasy world. No problem. And that game took like 8 or 9 years to make. I can't remember how long. It was a pretty big delayed game. But yeah, they put a lot of effort into that.
There's also like Mass Effect. That took ages and ages and ages to develop the first one. And then with each subsequent release, you've got a shorter and shorter development cycle. Like, I know we say it's been 10 years for this game, but it hasn't been 10 years.
No, of course, because of Anthem, which was a crazy, weird cycle, and then we had Andromeda, which I don't even know if they finished their cycle. They just sort of launched it. So
no, they stopped. There was meant to be a DLC with the Quarian thing, and they went no, and they turned it into a comic book. And the comic book, I don't even think they actually finished the comic book. So they weren't really interested. So
all right.
Dead in the water.
Well, this is pretty pathetic. It's pretty sad, and the state of Bioware has been pretty bad the past 6 years now since Anthem. So,
hold on, I've accidentally switched my daughter's swing chair on, so I'm hoping you don't hear the fucking music. There we go. I think that's off.
All right.
No, that's all right. Sorry.
All right. Let's keep going.
Wow, thanks. I would never have thought to dodge the telegraphed lightning strike if you hadn't told me.
Yeah, this is not a pride demon. If you guys remember how pride demons walk and talk, it's basically a ghost pride demon. So, whatever that means.
I just shut up, companion.
Yeah, tell me what to do. It's like I can see it. It's right there.
I can see that there's a giant lightning attack coming from the big purple lightning ball. I don't need you to tell me he's about to use lightning.
So there's big red circles that clearly look like
this looks like an even more tedious version of Inquisition's gameplay. Like, he just used probably 5 separate attacks in that few seconds, and he hadn't even damaged the thing.
Well,
you look at this. He's still working on the blue health bar.
Remember how
he hasn't done any health damage?
How people argued that they didn't like the idea of armor in Inquisition because only certain classes could build armor, and now I don't know if they have that anymore. But it's just 3 health potions, and you have to dodge everything. As a thief, at least, maybe the warrior classes can build armor. Yeah, we don't know. See, there's only one class on display. It has one skill, and it has a bow, and that's it.
3 of them are the same class. What are the warriors doing? Also, with this gameplay, at least even in Inquisition, my attacks aren't doing very well against this Pride Demon. Let me switch over to my mage and do some damage that will attack that.
Yeah,
oh no,
exactly.
I'm stuck with this guy.
Or use your mage to make a line of fire to stop a choke point from happening. Or all these other tactical things you could actually do that we've been doing in the games ever since. This is just action game. Dodge the circular red things before you get hit.
I used to love it, especially in like the Origin or Dragon Age 2, where you could literally put your tank of a warrior in a doorway, and it would stop the enemies. Like, you use tactics, and you could be behind it, and your mage could be healing your warrior constantly. And
I know.
Your rogue would be shooting arrows through the doorway and killing it, and you tactically stopped the enemies and stuff. With this, it's just, I'm just going to just attack this guy with me. It's...
They could have shown a mage, they could have shown a knight, they could have shown a different flavor of thief, but there's nothing here. It's just a guy with 2 swords and a bow with 1 skill, and he's dodging circular things on the ground, which we've seen. Again, there's nothing new. It's not bad. It's just nothing to get excited over. Russ to go out and buy this thing or pre-order. There's no reason to do that yet.
I don't feel like I'll be missing out not playing this.
Yeah, game. Exactly. It's just like I could watch someone else play it. I'll be happy. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's one of the worst things you can do as a company, to make a game where people go, I could just watch someone else do it.
I don't know what that thing is on his head. Is that like telling him where the attack is coming from? That halo?
Yeah, that's the incoming attack warning.
Oh, okay.
They're like on the Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Oh, jeez, I didn't even think
the
of
thing
that.
about the Arkham games is the attacks would come from like behind you, so you kind of needed it. This is not that.
Yeah.
And once again, like I'm like counting. We're up to about 15 attacks that have hit this thing, and look at how little damage is being done to it. Damage sponge boss gameplay is not good.
It's not. Especially with something like Pride Demon.
Yeah, especially when it's not reacting. Like, you compare this to something like, Dark Souls, right? In Dark Souls, you can, when you damage a boss, yes, a lot of them are damage sponges. They have a lot of health, but they react when you hit them. You can stagger bosses. You can, like, interrupt their attacks. Yeah, they have hyper armor sometimes, but you can, it's not like you're just whacking a pinata.
Well, have you noticed the health? Well, so that had the blue bar, the yellow bar, and there's a red health bar underneath it as well. There's 3 layers of it.
So did it have a shield and now armor and then health? Is that what it is?
It was a white bar, and then now it's
like
yellow.
One of the bosses from Mass Effect 2. Is that what this is?
Oh my god, this is such a damage sponge. And it's only level 4.
Why does it look like we're just in Haven Temple again? Like, this looks like the opening of Inquisition. I don't want to be reminded of Inquisition.
That's what this game reminds me of. I mean, everything about it, like the plot. We have to go find the guy to stop the rift hole, and then it's like, oh, the demons are pouring through the rift hole. Like, oh no, let's go stop them. Yeah, it's the same scenario. So nothing new.
Why doesn't it have legs?
Yeah, it's a ghost. It's a ghost pride demon. Everything's a ghost in this game so far.
Really weird.
Except the dogs. The dogs are red. The dogs are red, and the ghosts are blue. So Not sure why.
Remember when they changed the Batarians in Mass Effect 1 when they actually released them? And then nobody ever commented on it. Like they just looked different from how they originally were supposed to look.
The Batarians or the
Batarian.
Yeah, the
Because
four-eyed.
if you remember, before the DLC for Mass Effect 1 got released,
Bring Down the Sky.
yeah, if you looked in the codex of what Batarians looked like, their heads were like they had really skinny necks and like almost antenna, like almost snail eyes. And then they put out the DLC and they changed the codex and the Batarian models to have just regular human heads.
Oh, I remember.
I mean, not human heads, but you know what I mean.
Humanoid, yeah.
Yeah, where their eyes were in their heads and not like on stalks. It reminds me of that because they just changed it and nobody said anything about it, and now they're just, although that wasn't game to game, it was just like when they actually put models into the game, because I guess they didn't want to create a whole new rig for just the DLC. But like the design retcons, I don't like them. They bother me, and this is bothering me. This is not what Pride Demons have looked like, and they're not going to comment on it either. They're just going to look like this now.
They are probably tying it into the things they've hidden because they can't reveal a lot because for good reasons, storytelling. I understand that, but we know there's obviously a change and the color change. So it's like, all right, keep your secrets, silly demo trailer thing. But if you're not going to give us any story tidbits for us to care, then we're going to be confused. And the only thing we can fall back on is, visuals, music, gameplay, voice acting. And
music's not existent.
I can't even tell. Yeah, I don't know.
So, and gameplay, like Xbox says, I'm just watching this guy just spamming the A button, pretty much.
Exactly.
The Pride Demon. And I'm like, okay, right.
Yeah, aside from the...
he's doing some flips.
Yeah, exactly. Aside from the use of the bow, the upwards thrust and the downwards thrust was the only thing I noticed that seemed a little different. Like you jump up with the upwards thrust and then hit someone else on the downward thrust. I was like, okay, that's different. So, maybe. Who knows? But you really have to pay attention. Like, is that a move or is that just automatic? I don't know.
Through the veil.
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solus's ego.
Did you hear the tone of her voice? She's
How did something that large get through the veil?
Did no one notice? Remember the nightmare demon? How big that was coming through the veil. Also, pride demons come through all the time.
Yeah.
The Inquisition.
Is this your first day being a mage, lady? Question mark.
Does the
lady question mark? Is that a woman
in the Venatori city where magic is a way of life, and you're a detective?
Yeah, the Tevinter Imperium, and you don't know what demons are. Like, come on.
And the voice acting coach was like, "That's a perfect line. You said it perfectly. Everything's great. You don't have to use any tone."
The irony is Tevinter has a Pride Month. But it's just because everyone gets possessed by him.
That's great. That's great. It's Pride Month, guys. Get your own demons. Okay, here we go.
Like they recorded the first take, and it was like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh God! Every line she said, she either sounds the most stoic, or she just does not care. Like she's calling it in from Texas or something, and she's like, "Oh."
Is it Oblivion where that voice actor does the line and then goes, "Oh, that was no good. Can I try again?"
Yeah.
That's just this voice acting.
Yeah, she's in a physical combat. Oh, I've never seen a pride demon before like this.
How'd a demon that I can't. How'd a demon that large get through the veil anyway? You can
Did you
tell
not
she's
like?
really concerned.
So let's say she's 30 at like age wise. So at 10 years old, when all those demons came through the veil in Inquisition, she was like, "No, I'm not interested in knowing what's going on."
And wait a minute, how much of a time skip is there?
I don't know. We don't.
Supposedly it's 10 years from what I've been told.
10 years. What was Solus doing?
He's on vacation.
Yeah, I've asked this question. Like, what? I will destroy the world.
Inquisitor, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear down the veil between our world and the Fade. I'm going to destroy the veil. I'm going to bring back my people in a while. I got to go like jerk off first for a while. And I don't know, build a power base, write a book.
He's already got a power base. He's literally got all the elves with him.
That's true.
Killed Flemeth,
Every elf in Thetis.
Well, remember in Inquisition, he was like biding his time because he was so weak after he slept or whatever, and he lost his power when the orb went away. So then he got it destroyed, so he got his power back, and you're like, okay, so you're fine. And then Flemeth pops up, and he gets the power of, was it Mithra or whatever? So he's more than well equipped to do his job. I would understand
His mind as well.
Well, the time skips between games are fine. I don't mind that. But like, is it 1 year? Is it 2? What is happening? Do you need to build an army? Do you need to travel the lands and get power and influence? Like, what does a god do? And is it transient? Is it something that's beyond our perception that we just go, okay, well, a god is fickle and capricious, and that's just how they behave. But you still have to explain it to us, like, Solus, what were you doing all this time exactly? And maybe he has like an argument, like, I was in the Fade. Fade at time is different there. You're like, oh, okay, fair enough. Maybe. But
I suppose. Like, I could see if it was a year, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That'd be fine.
Like 1 year to build, to plan things out and set things into motion, but not 10 years.
Yeah, because that's Solus's argument. Then you have to say, what was Varric and the Inquisitor and all these other people doing that this is the scenario they're in? And
wasn't the Inquisitor like going to like living on borrowed time because of the
sickness,
wound from the orb? Like even if you get your hand cut off.
No, what happens is the anchor, which is on his hand, is slowly killing him. So Solus removes his hand to save his life. That's why he's only got one arm. And that's the reason
Solus said it would still kill him eventually.
No, he saves their life completely.
It's
but
been
the reason he lost an arm is so that the Inquisitor couldn't be the main character in this game, because in Dragon Age they don't have any way to replace lost limbs with anything.
Yeah. Well,
hold on. Apart from that, mage has got a false leg.
Yeah.
So why isn't the Inquisitor the main character in this?
I mean, in story, I couldn't tell you. Out of story, isn't it because they said that they want it to be a new person every game?
They only said that after Dragon Age 2's failure.
But you could make the argument the same way you made the argument for Liara being an information broker, that they're trying to do their best to stop Solus. So what if the detective was the Inquisitor? That would be like, oh, that's interesting, but that would require import data, which they might have screwed up, or the new guys don't know how to do that. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, you could have done that if the game had come out, say, 3 years later.
Yeah, well...
But how long has it been now? 10?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, it's very funny how all these setup, and plus this is reduced. There's a lower cast, or a smaller number of cast members or companions, less members in your party, less customizations for classes, because you can't have as many, because what's the point of having all these? Like, can you imagine designing, again, 9 classes with 9 specializations and you only have 6 characters? Like, you'd have to make all this content no one's going to play. So they can't do all this work and not get any benefit for it. But it has been 10 years. You had plenty of time. So what was going on during COVID? What was going on during development of Anthem and Andromeda and whatever other stuff they're working on, as well as the layoffs, as well as the seat changes when people left?
You can't have 130 odd layoffs earlier this year and tell me that they've had tons of time to work on this. No, you can't be.
Yeah, no.
Not a chance. Lack of attack. It's weird that Hawke wasn't the protagonist of Inquisition. He was originally intended to be the protagonist. That's why there was all that setup. But the poor sales of Dragon Age 2 stopped it. And that began the Bioware's thing of, it's a new hero each game. And it's a terrible design.
Wasn't Inquisition originally supposed to be another DLC for 2?
Yeah, pretty much. The Exalted March.
Wasn't the original plan it was going to be the Exalted March DLC before they expanded it into its own game?
Yeah. That was originally the plan. Hence why the Legacy DLC with Corypheus was created, to give Hawke connection to the villain of the next game. But obviously that never came round.
Yep, it's the same setup as Mass Effect 2's Arrival DLC. They have to make the villain character plot to build up to the next game for no reason.
And then you just press start to nuke the plot that was set up.
Yeah.
So
that was
fun. This is why I'm a bit like, we have to go for Solus here. I don't see Solus being the main thing in this game.
I don't.
You're gonna stop it. He's gonna be like the Act 1 villain. And you'll find out that there was somebody even more evil behind it. It's gonna be some random Tevinter Magister who, I don't know what his name is gonna be, but he's gonna be
Flemeth.
He's gonna sound like a New York real estate developer.
Oh God, like Ragnarok. Yeah. No, well, I imagine it's gonna be girl power with Flemeth coming back because. Of course.
100%.
Yeah, they're going to bring her back because Flemeth was throughout the entire series, just like Varric. Or Varys. So...
Varric.
It was Varric, sorry.
Varric, right. Yeah. Varys is someone else.
I'm trying to remember the names.
Varys is from Game of Thrones.
No, there's so much crap. My brain is like, whatever. But yeah, they're going to do something stupid like that because... Why would you change the name? Dreadwolf was fine for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden, no, we want to focus on the characters. You're like, well, he's a character. He's the villain. That's the most important part of his story is who's the opposition and why. It's like, no, he's not important. Like, okay.
I remember reading an article.
Yeah. The villain's not the most important part anymore because he's not going to be the villain the whole game. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Well, I remember reading an article about what the plan was for Dreadwolf, what is now Veilguard. And they went, we're trying to make it a bit more of a smaller scale story in the vein of like Dragon Age 2. So that, we've already done the end of the world. We don't want to do that again. And I'm watching this. I'm like, well, that was a load of bullshit, wasn't it? This
also,
is literally...
how is it going to be lower stakes? You were the ones who set up that he wants to destroy the Veil. That would end the world as they know it in Dragon Age. You can't just not do that unless the whole thing is you stop Solus at step 1 and that's just it for him. And then it's about Tevinter politics.
Veilguard, I'm sorry I keep mentioning it, but you've got some good information and stuff. Because Solus isn't the main focus by himself. It's like, yeah, we all knew that probably would be the case. These are the same people that set up over 2 games, the Mage Templar War, and then you literally nuke it by pressing the start button. And yeah, there goes 5 years of plot.
Yeah. 5 years of plot for shock value that had already been done better years earlier.
All right, here's the super chat from Toxic Mix. Thank you, sir. I feel that, like Solus's plan is basically step 1, destroy world, step 3, profit. We're not given any indication that any elves would survive to live in the new world he creates. Makes no sense.
one would survive. That's the thing that was mentioned about the fact that it's an insane plan because everyone would die. Solus says himself, yeah, everyone's going to die. And I'll just redo the world because it will bring back the ancient elves. By it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That seems super. And bear in mind, he hates the ancient elves, hence why he created the Veil in the first place, to get rid of them. So I don't understand. Not a great plan.
There has to be some lore building or some sort of world creation to explain his plan. I'm not saying it's a stupid story. We don't have enough information. It's just that we're not privy to this, and all we see is let's go stop the guy that everyone remembers from the previous game that we thought was super important, and now it's looking like he's not super important because of the limited experience we have. Gameplay wise, story wise, and again, this is probably just a level they took from like chapter 1 or chapter 2. And
probably a prologue from what I'm thinking here.
Maybe.
Bear in mind that the name of the quest is called The End of the Beginning.
Oh.
That does not sound like a middle of the game
Good point.
quest.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is the end of the opening, like closing the Fade Rift.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why it says it's early in the game and you can't do anything, or you can't use like all the commands because it's too early in the game.
That means this has either been so well polished and finished that they're just giving you this thing they finished last year. It's like, oh yeah, this is perfect for the demo or the trailer or whatever. You cut it up and put it together. And their launch is going to be in like the starting of September or whenever fall comes. So who knows? I mean, there's nothing here for us to care about aside from ask questions like what is really going on. So,
Do you remember when they released the demo for Mass Effect 3 where they did the first mission on Earth?
Yeah.
And then they skipped ahead and did the mission on Takesh, the female Krogan.
Yep, I remember.
I'm wondering why they've not. I wonder why they've not done it for this one, and it's just the first.
Yeah, give us more. Give us something. This is 20 minutes of the same thing over and over again with nothing to do with the dialogue wheel of any importance, of any value, of any uniqueness. There's
How many actual dialogue wheels have we gone through? How long we've been playing?
3? So
And it's just been one word answer, like one sentence.
There's 3 options that they don't seem to be much like it wouldn't branch the story in any way or change
There's
things.
no dialogue. There's no actual dialogue.
Yeah,
between characters.
arguably this is why we're here for Bioware games is to see the dialogue wheel, and yeah, nothing really jumping out at me.
So far, all I've seen is the back of Rook, and that's it. Like, in regards to this character, nothing's like maybe go, oh, this could be quite an interesting character.
Exactly. This is the weirdest way to describe, or lack of description for a protagonist in a Dragon Age game. Usually, it's like, oh, this is Commander Shepard. You're the Inquisitor. You're the Warden. You're some special guy. Not necessarily special, but you're some like, okay, that's his character. He's right there. With Rook, he's a guy. He's just a guy. There's no background. There's no, like, he's fully customizable. It's like, it doesn't matter what you are. And he's voice acted. You're like, okay. So he's just generic guy or girl. Which, again, does not interest me. I don't care.
It's called Rook because you're like the rookie member of the Veilguard.
Probably. That's a good...
I'm still thinking there's going to be some chess puns.
Oh, probably.
I'm 100% certain that someone's going to go, oh, Rook, or should I say, pawn, because you're just a pawn in the game, and like, oh my god.
Well, the dialogue's not impressing me. The music is non-existent. The visuals are what you expect. They look fine.
No dialogue. I'm going to be honest with you. What actual, like, conversation? Like, we came through that Illuvian, and it just went. They were talking between each other. Even Rook was talking, and we had no control over what was said. There was nothing to like respond or say anything.
So it's like the opening of Mass Effect 3. where they just decide things for you.
Yep.
But Mass Effect 3 had the heavy attack, so it looked cool, right? And you did it with your voice. Do heavy attack, Shepard. Okay.
I remember that was fine.
Anyway.
Everything was through the Kinect. God, I'm old.
God, yeah, that was hilarious. Like, this is the stupidest thing I've seen this year. Use voice commands. Garrus, do the thing. Okay.
Could you imagine like living next door to someone who was using the Kinect, going, "What the fuck is he on about here?"
Concussive shot, Garrus. Okay, yeah, that's good. Anyway.
Everyone all right?
Good enough. Let's get to Solus.
Oh, it looks like Haven Temple because it is Haven Temple.
No, it's Arlafan.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
It's the ancient Elven capital, and no one's even like noticed it. That it's the ancient Elven capital.
Why is Varric have brown hair now?
No, I don't know. He used to be ginger. Who knows?
Ginger's
surprised he's not black.
Yeah, gingers turn brown when they age in the Dwarven Kingdom.
Apparently.
All right. I'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive.
She just like completely destroyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she just completely destroyed that demon with one little flick.
Yeah, a little bit of cutscene power there.
Yeah, I know, but we just went through 15 minutes of slowly stabbing the pride demon.
Yeah.
It is sort of noticeable.
Oh, what on earth did they do to Varric? This is the most offensive part of this trailer. Why is he wearing the one ring?
Yeah, what is that?
He's always had that though. He's always had that necklace.
Are you sure?
Yeah, even in Dragon Age 2. Yeah, 100% certain.
Okay.
Maybe that's a Dwarven thing. I don't remember.
A while.
Yeah, I was never a Dwarven expert on the lore there.
I'm sure we'll get an explanation for it. Maybe it was the ring he tried to use to propose to Bianca. That was something we needed to see.
That's a pretty big ring. I don't know if that's going to fit. But anyway.
Demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solus isn't going to stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta try to reach him. But if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
Is it the like dialogue between the characters?
Yeah.
It just seems so short and sweet. Not sweet, but just short.
You approve or you disagree? You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, all right, fine.
Very
I know that.
And it doesn't tell me anything about anybody.
Yeah, just that passively these people... This is the same problem with Inquisition. Just people passively, like they could be in another room and they just disagree with you for whatever reason. In this case, Nev just disagrees because we don't know why.
Just going to have to go for a sec because my daughter's just woken up and is crying. So I'm going to set her down.
No problem.
So I'll be back in.
Fair enough.
5
See you
minutes.
soon. Okay.
Take care of the team for me. Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
Let's buy him some time.
I hope Varric is getting through to Solus.
We better talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
I don't know. Kind of seems like you can hold them off forever. They're not doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, what have I missed, by the way?
It's nothing.
Oh, right.
Just fighting more demons. Yeah, there's nothing new.
More low stakes gameplay.
Is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
Shit. We need a better plan.
Do you want me to take the shot?
Won't work. He's too powerful.
So what? Powerful people can still get shot with arrows. What do you mean he's too powerful? He's not putting up a shield. He's just standing there.
But like he's as powerful as like 12 guys.
This is this is the joke about the Mass Effect barrier. It's always up. You just don't know it until it's useful.
Apparently.
Unless your name is Nihilus, then it's forget about it.
Yeah.
Constantly. This just. Also, who feels like they're just going to kill Varric off reverse, or we're going to like tease it?
Yeah, that would make sense. They kill off the character that everyone loves or everyone knows, and everyone's sad. Oh, I really liked Varys.
They just killed the character. They just did the big character dies. They destroyed Bianca.
Yeah,
they're not going to kill Varric.
It would make sense though.
Brian Bloom's one of the writers. They're not going to kill Varric.
Dramatically, it would make sense because then the stakes are even higher. And you have a really good reason to dislike our bald elven fellow. So I would say it could work. It would work. It would make sense dramatically, and at least give us more motivation to care because there's really nothing keeping us interested.
I also like this idea of people are always dying, so I'm just going to kill the whole world. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they can kill Hawke and Inquisition, they can kill Varric, no problem.
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
How do you know that, Mr. Engineer? Is that how old is this place? That wood has been there for decades, centuries.
Also, scaffolding doesn't mean that that's the only thing keeping it up.
Exactly.
Scaffolding is
climb
support.
Yeah, so that people can climb up somewhere to do some work on something.
Yeah, exactly.
If I pushed over some scaffolding, the building's not going to collapse. Some guy's just going to go, oh, great, I've got to redo the scaffolding now.
Yeah, you put it up to do, maintenance. You don't put it up to keep the statue. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This is great. I love it.
Someone who doesn't know what scaffolding is.
Apparently.
Maybe
have you seen pictures of scaffolding and just guessed?
Maybe in Canada, because we have scaffolding all around our parliamentary buildings, like year round, and they cost millions and millions of dollars every month just to keep them up, to repair the copper or whatever the hell they're doing. They think, oh, if you take it down, the whole building will collapse. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I can't believe that scaffolding's keeping it up. That's not how scaffolding works, Rook. My God, you are retarded. First the chandelier, now this.
Oh, the chandelier. I'm still laughing about that. 10 guys are jumping at me. I know what I'll do. I'll drop a chandelier in my head. That'll work.
That's the guy to lead us.
That's the man.
Does he have something against, like, wooden structures? Just like, well.
If we just snap the rope, I'll be saved. I'm like, okay, go for it.
Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have...
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to...
And not stopping it ends the world. What the fuck is that line?
Let's rewind that.
Holding that one up. The whole...
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
How does that... That's not a clever line.
Well, they have...
Also, what demons?
Yeah. No problems.
There's no demons visible, and if you needed to hold them off because you need to keep Varric safe, you'd be doing it.
Yeah. If she said that during combat, it'd be like, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. But we literally have a lull in the whole scene where we're like, what should we do next? Well, we can go over there. Well, what about the demons? It's like, there aren't any?
But the way that she said, oh, stopping a ritual like this has got its consequences. It's like, yeah, but he's trying to destroy the world with this ritual. But the consequences of not stopping it is everyone dies.
Yeah, this is weird.
That's a weird line.
This is the Ice Mage, and she was like, she shattered a bunch of people in this giant snow globe she created. It's like, can you like do that to the base of the rock and then just like kick it with your dumb leg? That would probably...
Why doesn't the guy just touch the statue? Because he destroyed that entire ice thing by touching it.
Oh yeah, that's right. This guy just touches stuff and they just like Venatori giant shields. He just like taps it with his sword, no problem. Just breaks right through it. But yeah, that snow globe was hilarious. It's just like butch doink.
Yeah, so I don't understand this like dialogue between them. I know someone saying maybe something along the line the ritual isn't stable. No, the choices are death of the entire world or anything else. You go for anything else. Even if it kills you, it's not destroying the world. I don't...
Yeah,
the stakes don't add up.
This detective logic person's like, well, wait a second. It's like, what are the values you hold, honey? Like, what do you understand how magic and...
Now, I understand we could kill Hitler. I know, but listen to me out there. Do we... The consequences of doing it.
You will be a murderer. We have to put you on trial. I am a person of the law. You realize that? It's like, what?
Yeah, I know, Jay Jameson. I know. I just tried to understand. In universe, I get where you're coming from. It's just one of those things where the line doesn't make sense with the stakes they're showing. It just comes across as the generic line of, well, should we do it or should we not? Make some sort of like choice. Yeah. When in reality, the only choice is stop the ritual. That's the only reason you're here is to stop the ritual.
Yeah. That's what this is leading to. What we're leading to here is the moral decision between do we stop the ritual or stop the demons to save Varric. That's why they're both bringing it up.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this still image. That is an interesting collar he's got there. I don't know what it is. Is it a shield like to deflect blows or a piece of leather for some reason? I don't know. It looks weird.
The thing around his neck looks like those pillows you have on airplanes.
Yeah.
So obviously he sleeps forever like fast travel.
Asymmetrical. It's weird.
It looked like a worm from like a baby worm from Dune. Maybe it's like a thing he killed and he turned it into a belt for his neck. I don't know. It's weird, yeah. Anyway,
to be honest with you, all the designs and so far I've seen just look
well.
strange.
Nev is the weirdest looking fashion person I've
I
seen.
still don't understand why she's got fucking like saltine cracker on her head.
She's wearing like a French fascinator for some reason.
There
Or
you
like
go.
in a
she
universe
looks
where
like
they
she's
don't
wearing
exist.
a sideways mortar board, like she finished university recently.
That's good. That's the best one so far, actually. We had no idea what the hell that. I thought it was a veil, like she attended a funeral. It's like that's not really what you would wear. 1920s, maybe. I don't know.
She's wearing her mortar board sideways, like in the 90s. In 90s hip hop videos, guys wear their baseball caps sideways. That's what this is the Dragon Age equivalent of.
Yeah.
The sideways baseball cap.
I just like the idea that in between solving crimes, she like fixes people's like driveways. I'm just gonna fix up the mortar here. A couple of cracks.
All right, we are almost 18 minutes done. We'll watch this crazy animation.
Stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you.
Amazing acting.
What? No.
Mwah. Incredible acting.
How
That's suicide.
Why would you commit suicide? I cannot believe you committed suicide.
Stepping into all of that magic, it could be very dangerous.
I'm a detective. Does your driveway need fixing?
Bioware Entertainment in 2024. This is the company that made Baldur's Gate 2. Remember that game?
Yep, that was great.
Remember Jade Empire?
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
I'm getting a bit young now with those sort of memories.
Well, yeah, the voice acting by Nev is not doing her money favors.
Anyone got a better idea?
Genius, Miss Detective, who knows the world, very old, smart, intelligent, logic person.
You'll need backup. I'm with you.
Jesus Christ, this is really bad action voice acting. Also, why does that guy not have like a sheath for his sword? Why is he just holding it?
He has two swords.
Why is Allie Hillis doing her like shadow broker Liara voice for Scout Harding? Scout Harding did not have her deep tough guy voice in Inquisition. She had Allie Hillis's high, archaeologist Liara voice, not the lightning from Final Fantasy 13 voice.
Yeah, it's more lightning, I would say.
Well, it's been 8 years, 10 years, or whatever. People change their voice.
Sure, voice actors do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
my
what we
brother.
need. We need Scout Harding to be another generic tough guy, girl boss character. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Boy, I can't wait to see all of those characters that come through, because so far, that's what we've been getting.
Anyway.
God, I thought you would be really good for this scene. Trash. I miss her. Where's Trash? I like that character. I think perfect.
What would Trash recommend? I hit statue with axes. It will work. I strong.
Hey, that's better voice acting than, wait, no, don't do that.
That's suicide.
That's...
All that raw magic. You'll be... Okay, thanks.
I swear, I bet she'll go, I am with you too, after Scout Harding says that she's...
Oh, 100%. That's what's coming here.
Mage. I'll go.
Either way.
Close enough.
Jesus Christ. I've been to funerals.
Back and deal with the demons.
Oh. Did I just say choose wisely? Your decisions will impact your companions.
Yeah, this is a Vermeer option right here.
It just means whoever you pick is going to get approval.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not going to be like Vermeer.
If they had guts, the person you didn't pick would die. Or the person you did pick would die.
I just find it odd that the detective ice mage would not have, like, I'm a magician. I can do crazy stuff, but I'm going to let you jump into raw magic with you two rogue people with your bows and arrows to push a giant statue that I might have some knowledge about or understanding of after I just eviscerated people with my ice magic and created an ice structure, like a perfect sphere that was like a size of 2 buildings. Oh, you guys go push a building with my... I have a bad leg. I can't get over there.
I'm sorry, it's just funny when you mention it. It's just...
You have no idea. You're the smartest person in the room. I have no ideas.
It's like there was a sketch show in the UK, and one of the sketches was BMX Boy and the Angel Summoner. And the BMX Boy just used to have a bike and used to do tricks, and the Angel Summoner used to just summon a horde of like angels to like kill people. So like it'd be just, he always went, you could do that plan, or I could just summon a horde of angels to deal with everything.
I remember those skits. I remember that skit.
Yeah. So it's like this. I'm a mage. I could just like destroy that. No. Let us 2 rogues go and do it.
2 guys with
jump down
with bows and arrows. Who are not known for strength. We're going to push this giant structure over. It's like, what?
So here's a plan. Me and Hardin will go down. We'll kill the guards. We'll push the statues over, and we'll fight our way back to the mage. Or I could just make a spell to drop the entire thing.
Somebody in the comment in the chat is asking what's stopping them from shooting arrows and magic. He's too strong. That's the entire explanation we got.
Like Charlotte just says earlier, there's at least 12. He's got the power of at least 12 mages.
Yeah. Apparently, a pride demon is not too strong to use arrows on, but Solus is.
Yeah. Bear in mind, he's distracted by Varric as well at this point, so you could easily sneak up on him.
Anyway, here's our brilliant plan. So, here we go.
Let's go, Hardy. Nev?
You got it.
Alone. Oh boy, platforming.
I cannot hear Varric.
Yeah, I can't.
What? What is this sound mixing? Oh my gosh, this is...
Can't hear what is being said.
This is embarrassing. This is their gameplay review. This is what they decided was like their best foot forward. Boring dialogue, the most generic action RPG gameplay you've seen in the last 10 years. That looks like it's gone nowhere from Inquisition. And who's even talking?
I know it's Varric talking, but I can't make out what's being said. And also, why is he trying to like talk Solus into it after that cutscene showing Solus just doesn't care?
Usually you'd have turn the subtitles on or something to allow us to learn what's occurring, because that's how storytelling works, so we can do the gameplay while we're listening or reading. But we can't hear, like, we cannot hear him, and they must have known this.
I thought it was on my end. But then you two started saying what's being said, and I'm like, oh, thank God! I thought I was going like deaf or something. It's just...
Yeah, well, that's this trailer.
Riveting.
Why tear down the veil, knowing all the lives it'll cost?
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other...
Years ago. Years. Why has it taken so long for you to act, Solus?
Okay, so it's from 2. We're assuming 10 at the most. It could be longer. Look how Varric looks. It's totally different. So 2 to 10, maybe? I don't know.
But like Axelot says, this is a very bad gameplay reveal of stuff because you're getting nothing out of this. This is boring. I hate using the word boring as like a descriptor of something, but what is there? Like, so far from the dialogue, you get 2 choices stuff, but doesn't change anything. Oh, great, I'm looking for the dialogue. Combat, it's just pressing one button for ages. And now it's just a bit like, I've now got to attack scaffolding health bars.
If he was attacking a crack in the statue, I've been fine. Be like, yep, use your hit it with your fist. I don't care. Do whatever you have to do to get that thing down. You're desperate. Show how crazy our hero is. He'll do anything. He'll wreck his skeletal structure. He'll ruin his nails. Whatever. Do that. No. He breaks a piece of scaffolding. The rest of the scaffolding falls. And then what?
And also, scaffolding isn't keep a structure up, as we've talked about. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Better option?
The pillar's weak, but...
It isn't falling! We need to push it!
No kidding, because it's scaffolding.
Together.
It's not structural support.
Hold on. The way they're pushing it would mean that the statue's going to fall onto them.
Well, he just broke a big giant piece of wood. Why are they now collectively pushing a big piece of... Like, just attack it like you would before. Does gameplay mechanics not work in the cutscenes now? Is this how we're doing it?
The way that the scaffolding they're removing is on their side, so if it was load-bearing, it would mean that the statue would fall towards them. So they're now just stood underneath what's going to fall. This is the same guy who used a chandelier to drop it on his own head.
That's a good point.
So he's just like, hey, it worked last time. So
this is the intelligence of one in the Fallout logic we have to follow. It's like, okay, this guy has no idea what he's doing. The game has to let him win. This is what's happening. So, there's our hero, ladies and gentlemen. 0 to 1 intelligence.
Also, Toxic Mix put, do you believe I do this as some other choice? It's like, yeah, don't do it. Just help the elves rebuild.
Yeah.
Do that. You don't have to destroy the world.
Yeah, plus...
Do we even remember what his explanation is at the end of Trespasser for why he wants to do this?
Because he feels regret about destroying the elves and seeing them. It's mainly because he saw the elves have the tattoos on their face, and he freed them from slavery by destroying the ancient elven kingdom. And so the fact that they're revering the tattoos because the history has been lost, he got mardy about it. So he doesn't like that. Very weak.
All my inferior progeny decide to go to face painting, and I want to kill everyone now. So this is how we're gonna do it. Okay.
Also, the fact as well, I think it's because the elves couldn't defeat the humans in battle afterwards, and I'm just a bit like,
yes, so.
Okay.
But
it's up to the elves.
I don't know. I've never accepted you can't possibly understand me as a legitimate villain motivation.
You're beyond your comprehension.
Yeah. You're too stupid to get it. No. That's because that's always writer excuse to not come up with anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Humble our minds.
What you do in that scenario is you have multiple plots, you have multiple reasons, and you give tidbits that all seem to point to a bigger explanation, which is why you have sequels, which is why you have subplots. So you give slavery, the loss of religion, the disbelief of what it meant to be elven, all these things, the loss of culture, the loss of the spirit, all these conservative values, whatever you want to bring up. And then you connect that with politics and all the other elements of philosophy. So that's great. But what Hawk just said, it's kind of scary. I don't remember because I don't really like Trespasser. I didn't play it very much, and it's all these bridging DLCs piss me off. Every time Bioware does them, I hate them. So
not great.
It's like it's such a obviously what they did with the bald elf guy, god person, was last minute. Obviously,
yeah.
If they planned it from the beginning, then there was no foreshadowing. There was nothing, which is what you do not do in storytelling for a twist like that. You leave clues, you give breadcrumbs, you give something. But that was such a head turn at the end. You're like, why would this happen? Like, why? So it really pissed me off in Inquisition to do that.
Like, you wanted Corypheus to succeed, but then spent the whole thing stopping him. You're like, what? Why would you stop him?
And then the Inquisitor gives him what he wants. And, oh, you want to go to the Fade? I'll snap my fingers. There you go, buddy. And you're like, wait, no, you idiot. That we just tried to stop. What? Like, nothing made sense at that point. And then they had to bring out the reveal with Elvin.
Oh, actually, it was Solus who was the true villain.
Oh,
and then also, bear in mind at this point, like I said, at the end of Trespasser, he wipes out the Canary with his mind, turning him to stone with his magic. You've got no how do you stop that? How do you he can just go like Larry and just turn to stone, bang, done. The conversation's over.
It's as if I'm so smart. Don't you think I would have done something if I didn't think about it? It's like, you could have asked us. You're obviously not as smart as you think.
There are loads of options, especially if you waited 10 years. There's quite a few options.
It's a weird thing to just throw that at us for a companion who, and if he was like your first companion you get, he was like the guy who's like, okay, I'm going to help you. I'm wise and powerful, and I'm going to help you seal all the rifts and all this jazz. It's like, cool, he's a cool spirit mage. And he becomes the villain because, I don't know. I honestly think it was a last minute thing because it made no sense. There was no build up. Nothing was planned. And it especially has been that way with Dragon Age. You could argue Mass Effect was planned, and it certainly wasn't. But with Dragon Age, it's
Dragon Age is right by the ass.
What are we doing? I don't know. Have fun. Well, and they made a lot of money with Inquisition. These 10 years have been fueled by that. And this thing needs to sell, because if this doesn't sell, Mass Effect 5 doesn't sell. So
I just don't see the appeal of this, and I'm sure when it actually comes out, when we get like to the actual plot and stuff, we're just gonna be like, what, why, how, okay. But so far, from just a gameplay perspective, this is gripping me.
This is something that like, even what they're doing now, like pushing a piece of wood as a support structure, is like, make it a gameplay thing at least, so I can believe this. Like, no, can you seriously think someone's going to push a giant block of wood that's stopping a giant statue from being a Leaning Tower of Pisa scenario? I just can't.
No, I don't understand the physics of everything, because if it's leaning against the scaffolding, pushing it means it's going to fall on top of them. In fact, no, you don't do that. But whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, we're almost done.
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to kill you. He wants to talk to you.
Is that the same actor?
Should be, yeah.
It's the guy from Torchwood. One of the main guys on that. Some Welsh guy, I don't know. Oh my god! They did push it onto themselves.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
What happens next is even equally stupid, but you know.
Oh my god.
It's dominoes!
What?
One hits another giant one, which hits another giant one, because that's exactly how giant monoliths happen in ancient Elven. So how did this guy get all the way from there to the bottom of the staircase? Like he was literally like a few blocks northwest of.
He's to the side.
Also,
he's to the side.
Have we accomplished anything here?
Like this is a scenario where 3 giant statues just fell on top of this entire environment, and he's somehow here.
He's just teleported. He's to the side.
Yeah.
Of Solus, and he turns and looks up, and then he's behind, like in front of him. That's not possible. That's.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bad. That's really, really bad. That's really, really, really fucking bad.
Level design, continuity. What does that work? I don't know. And that was, I thought was going to be a dragon or something. It looked like a skeleton popping up. I don't know. Anyway, that was exhausting and boring, but again, mediocre. As I said, it's passable. People will go, "Oh, gameplay! I can do the flip thing."
No, Grant, that is Varric's perspective again. No, that was him. You could see his haircut. You could see the afro haircut.
Oh, is this the argument that this is all in Varric's storytelling, like with the Dragon Age 2 video where?
No. I think he's trying to say that that scene when you're looking straight at Solus is Varric looking at Solus. That's not Varric looking at Solus. You can clearly see the hairstyle isn't Varric's, and also it literally shows the guy staring at him straight on. If you keep going back just a little bit more, you know that first bit where he turns round and we said, "Oh, he's teleported." That was the hairstyle.
So they're like on this weird wooden bridge thing, which I guess they're walking back from where they came. And then boom, they're right there.
That is not Varric.
That's not Varric, that's him.
Yeah, so they just bypassed Nev or whatever, and they're just here.
Also, where is Varric in this? Because he's not managed to make it down to the bottom of the steps.
He seems to have vanished.
He teleported. He switched places with Rook.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that wasn't Varric's perspective. Looking at him, that was the guy. Wow.
Yeah, the only argument for this trailer is that they edited it so much it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way this would have happened. Yeah.
This is why now makes me think they've changed it. Varric's dead somewhere.
Yeah. So if I were to make a analysis trailer, the main response will they edited it. Obviously, it's not supposed to be continuous or whatever. Like, well, basic placement of objects would be nice to make sense. I don't think it's a plot reveal. So, no, this yes, using critical analysis and time and pausing and spending the extra hour, you'll see the flaws a lot easier. But it comes down to gameplay that doesn't inspire you. Really, no gameplay that's new that follows anything.
No, it looks like we have gone nowhere from Inquisition 10 years ago.
We've gone backwards.
Almost, yeah. I would say it looks like it's going 2 steps back. Yeah. So
that's what it's Inquisition Light. Inquisition
2.5, yeah.
Backwards. Yeah.
I think I've made that joke with Dragon Age 2. It's Dragon Age 1.5 or something like that. I think I might have said that about
I think
Mass Effect. I can't remember which games I said that about. But yeah, it feels like it's Inquisition all over again. And this is like, oh, the same plot, less characters.
Worse voice acting. God.
Nev is just... Oh, dear. I hope she's like the Ice Queen. I don't give a shit. I have some magical reason I can't enunciate emotion. I froze my throat. I don't know. Something like that. She has literally an ice queen heart or whatever. That might be fun. But no, this is apparently people have been telling me all of the characters are bisexual or homosexual, which is weird.
This is because they just wanted it to be queer. There's like an article about it. I stopped reading halfway through it when they started going, we like Baldur's Gate 3 because you can have sex with a bear. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing this.
What?
This. I live in the real world.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait for the next trailer. I might do a review or analysis of this because I have time and I still have to do my episode 6 of Fallout. But yeah, I'm going to cover this later. Hopefully.
I'm still getting through that Fallout show. I've tried.
I've tried too.
Mark. I'm with Mark on this. Thank God he's there. I'm going to kill myself after the last one.
It is
so boring.
It is boring. I'm curious because obviously I'm a fan of the games, and there's something wrong with that show. This almost the same way there's something wrong with this trailer. You're just like, it just doesn't feel right. It's not horrible.
Show's not Fallout. It's something wearing the skin suit of Fallout.
It feels like a fanfic. It feels like the same with this. It feels like a bunch of fans got hired. They played Dragon Age when they were 4, and they grew up with it, so they think they could create, I don't know, whatever version of Gator-esque vibes that they liked, which is all the gay and all the stuff that, I'm not saying Gator's a bad writer, but it's all the stuff that he was rambling on about, and then you got the Weeks family in there, and they're wonderful.
God. Is Patrick Weeks still involved with this?
Oh, and his wife. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excuse me, Smud. Their wife. Please.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah. His name's still Patrick. He looks exactly the same, but his hair's blue, so he's non-binary.
What? Really? He's married. What are you talking about?
I'm not kidding. You go to his Twitter page, it says they, them. Even though his name is still Patrick and he looks exactly the same, but his hair is blue.
You know, something is weird in Alberta. I can't explain. Maybe it was the weather, because minus 35 C would probably smarten you up really quick, but apparently not. So
the issue with Bioware is they care more about that stuff than anything else. And I don't even want to get into like the argument of it. It's just when you look at them and you see what they like and what they're always on about, and you're like, oh, like guys, it gets draining when that's all they want. Like I had the conversation on Twitter because what's his name, that Grums was on about making everything gay, and I'm like, what, did you not expect that with this company? It's like they've had to change. The reason why they've changed so much, like law, like the Canary and stuff, is because the old stuff no longer fits with a genderqueer, fluid, LGBTQ 2024 world.
Oh yeah.
In Canada.
So yeah, like when they said, when they say, oh,
like you remember there's a whole conversation you have in the first game with Sten, if you're a female hero, where he says you can't possibly be a soldier because you're a woman, and now like apparently they're accepting of trans people. Like, give me a break. That's ridiculous nonsense.
But that trashes a dragon hunter female Quinari. It's like, right, that doesn't happen. They don't let women in. It's like, no, but you say she's a man. It's like, oh, okay.
This game we're gonna have a female Arashok. You watch.
Oh, if you guys didn't know, the Arashok is Sten.
Oh, it actually is Sten?
Yeah, it's in the books somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's... Oh, I guess that would be canonized, because it's only, like... Sten only survives if you give him his sword back.
Otherwise, he tries to kill you in Haven, for some reason. Weird.
Yeah, I think in the ending, if you never went to find his sword, he either becomes Tal-Vashoth or he goes back and he dies. But in the books, I know he is Arashok in the book, so I guess they must have made it canon.
Oh, they fleshed out in the books. They fleshed out the system of the Canary. There's the 3 leaders. The Arashok is the body. There's the Eris something else, which is the mind. And then there's the Eris something else, which is the spirit or the soul or something like that.
Yeah, it's the priesthood, which is women, is the mind. The military is the arms, which grab stuff, and then there's another thing that's the heart, and everything like that. That's how it's so it's a
which is cool.
Triangle.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is fine.
I'm okay with that. They still did heavy retconning of the Qun in general.
The Qunari started off as something that you would say is more right-leaning as a group.
Yeah. Although I guess what actually led to it was probably Felicia Day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was the whole thing with the Mark of the Assassin, whatever that DLC was called.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. There's only one good bit in that entire DLC.
It's what it is somebody on the writing staff, maybe Felicia Day's influence as well, really likes the Qun, and so they rewrote it to match what that person has as their pet, like how they want it to look, kind of like Karen Traviss with the Mandalorians in the Star Wars novels, where she decided the Jedi suck and the Mandalorians are just the coolest ever, and so she completely rewrote the Mandalorians. I guarantee it's a similar situation to that.
Well,
the Qunari's gone from, like I say, a right-leaning ideology to gay communists. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good.
But that's it.
Well, the idea behind these three leaders, it's very reminiscent of Babylon 5's the Centauri. So
no, I thought it was the Minbari.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're Minbar. Yeah, you're right. So the caste system there is very similar. So I like these general smart, like this is what you expect from a fantasy or science fiction setting, to have all these fleshed out ideas, and Sten was the conduit into that, the same way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, the Qun is an interesting idea, but it was an interesting idea in the first game because in the first game they cared.
And the second game, when the Arashok fleshed it out even more, and didn't change anything, they just fleshed it out.
Yeah, that's true, because we got a picture of a more like... Because Sten is very, you can tell he's very like orthodox.
Yep.
Essentially, right? He's like an orthodox member of the Qun, and... the Arashok is more of like a fanatic. And then you get all the Tal Vashoth. They flesh it out without really contradicting anything. It's not until Mark of the Assassin where they start to basically rewrite it.
Because it's like you get to speak to the Arashok, who's one of the leaders, so you get the main guy pretty much telling this stuff.
Oh yeah, it's essentially a very strict Orthodox religion, and it's not just a religion; it's a lifestyle of behaving. So you're like,
the baker is always the baker. That's it. You were born a baker. You will always be a baker. You can't strive to be anything else.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, certainly. And I think part of why the Arashok works is you can tell he's a true believer, but he's also not really a philosopher, right? Like he'll talk through his beliefs, but he doesn't talk through them like a priest would. He talks through them more like a crusader would.
Yeah, it's not like he's questioning them. He's saying, this is the way it is. This is the way I am. There's no changing my mission. There's no changing who or what I am. And we are the best, and everyone will follow us or we'll kill you. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, it's very dogmatic.
Remember when like those elves joined the Qun? He's like, I never done their crime, but they're part of the Qun now, so I have to look after them.
Yep.
And it's a bit like, yeah, I know it's wrong, but they're the Qun, so that's what the Qun tells me I should look after my own, and they are now my own.
Right.
And it's like, oh, right. So, like you say, he's not very like philosophical about it. He just goes, I just follow the Qun, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he could. Whereas Sten will talk philosophy with you more than the Arashok will. So you get those differing perspectives on it, and then you get the Tal Vashoth who don't like it, who left, right?
But they still have like they still believe in the Qun. They just don't want to be in it. So
right.
it's not like they don't agree with it. They just go like, well, I'm no longer part of it, but I still want to live by it. Because even like their mages, even though they'd be treated badly, it's still like, I'm part of the Coons, I'm part of this group. And it's like, that's interesting. But then you get to like Inquisition, and you get like, well, like I say, just gay communism, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. Suddenly, there's a lot of freedom under the Coon to it's not as strict as they think, and they don't care about like free love and all that stuff where you get Iron Bull who really romanticizes it and
Yeah.
I put it on Twitter that the Kunari after Dragon Age 2 is just San Francisco in Pride Month. And that's it. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
All right. Let's go to the Super Chats, and then we'll get to the memes, and we'll call it a day, guys. We'll do this over 3 hours, so we got to take a break.
We could go for more. Where's Wisp?
Talking about socialism? No, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
16 hours.
Anyway, Dark Lelouch G, one of the devs calls himself, a queer gendermancer. Guess where that decision came from? I do know that was the producer who transitioned while she was working on the project, and I don't really care. This does not bother my analysis or my influence of what caused what. Good for them, but I care about the product. I care about what is there in the story, and of course the gameplay. So, good for them. It doesn't bother me. Toxic Mix for the 5. Remember how the Tevinter allow almost every form of degeneracy under the sun except homosexuality?
Yeah.
I wanted a very going away from the world of the towers, where we have basically Hogwarts, which is a fun, cool idea, to a manga of nobility, magic, family houses versus the non-nobility. That's the kind of scenario I want. Obviously dark fantasy, obviously a lot more ramped up. Not 1984 fantasy drones telling you to go inside for curfew while they take care of the alien invasion. So no, there's something that lost translation from strict magical kingdom world to totalitarian magic regime. So, yeah.
I know, but it's just, I think this is a reminder. I think this is always, I think, in reference to Dorian's personal quest, right, which felt like a very special episode of Dragon Age.
Dorian had to have his time travel plot, which I thought was perfectly fine, and then they gave him a second one. You're like, okay, you're gonna do this?
No, but they gave. But the thing with Dorian is the fact that they wanted to trans him, and they made it out to be a bad thing. And I'm like,
No,
that's
he didn't
weird.
want. It wasn't. He wasn't going to trans him. It was conversion therapy.
No, they wanted to turn him into a woman.
No, he wanted to turn him straight.
Was it? I thought they were going to turn him into a woman.
His father didn't like that he was gay, so he wanted to turn him straight.
I honestly thought it was turn him into a woman.
I don't think
so.
Like I said, it was a very special episode of Dragon Age Inquisition where we learned that it's okay to be gay.
This is great. This is a to Vinstagram. That's good.
My most recent playthrough of Inquisition, I just refused everyone. Like, I told everybody, no, I don't want all the optional party members. I said, no, piss off. So I don't even have Dorian. He's like, I want to work with you. I'm like, no, bye. He's like, well, all right then, I'll do it myself. I'm like, good luck, buddy.
Read that in Morrigan's accent as well. It's not about him.
Out here living my best life. Alistair. That's great. Morrigan disapproves. Yeah. That was the best part. You better run, Egg. Yeah. Oh no, it's this. People always ask me how I pronounce my name. Morrigan or Morrigan. And I always tell them the same thing. How dare you speak to me?
Yeah.
Let me in. Let me in. Zephyrin? Why is he so concerned about this? Oh, insufficient skill. Oh, he's the thief.
Zevran comes with like no lock picking. Also, why is he black?
Is he supposed to be Spanish? I don't know.
He's lighter than that.
There were people on people on Twitter who are obviously the fans of Dragon Age saying, they were on the YouTube wait party because of the announcement of the trailer. So they were waiting 24 hours or whatever for this video to play, saying, or one fangirl was saying, Fenris wasn't white. And I'm thinking there, I'm like, okay, but if you look at the scene when he's with his sister, like she's super white, and next to Hawke, who's white, and he's whiter than Hawke, even with his magical tattoo, which is also white. So I was like, are you sure about that? He was covered in blood, so the contrast was obvious. And so these people have their own, like, the fans have their own weird lore of gender and sexuality and God knows what else. It's a strange group of people, and I think they're all perverts, but I don't want to say that and paint them with a brush because that's too silly. But it comes across as if they all have a Tumblr account, they all have their avatar as their favorite character from Dragon Age, and they have the weirdest posts on Twitter, I noticed. So I tried to pay attention. Anyway, it is tea. I detest this stuff. It's a trap.
Right with tea? No, that's not good.
Soulless. All right. Anders. Hello, Anders from Dragon Age 2. Hello, Cersei from Game of Thrones. Oh. Okay.
You know what's great about that scene in Dragon Age 2? It meant nothing. So what, that he blew up the chantry there? Means nothing.
It established that there are explosives in the Dragon Age universe.
It was one small chapel that happened to be in Kirkwall.
You know, I had a playthrough. Anders tells you, like, I need your help with this, right? He's like, I can't do this without you. I need you to help me get some stuff. You can tell him no, and he still gets the stuff, and he still blows up the chapel.
One of my least favourite things about Dragon Age 2 is the fact that it just does not matter.
Yeah. Nothing you do in that game makes a difference. Which I get, like, the argument from fans of it is like, of the story is like that's the point, is that no matter what Hawke did, everything went sideways. But that doesn't make me feel good as a player.
It made sense in the idea that, the next game will redeem Hawke's actions and, he'll become better and everything like that. But now that he's just stuck with that one game, like you say, it doesn't make you feel good about the game at all. It just makes you go, well, what was the point of all that? It might as well never have been there if it was still going to happen.
This is the classic joke from Morgan. There's a Doge dog. Okay, fair enough. Who's good dog? Good dog. Good dog. Killing a pride demon. I can't read that. That's too tiny. I'll read it later. Oh, she hugs the dog. That's cute. Okay.
But why are we still keeping this foul little beast in our entourage? The last time, my codpiece is not a chew toy. Alistair, we've got some melted cheese with bread by the campfire. Want some? Do I even need to ask? Here I come. I'm surrounded by utter fools. And then she hugs the dog. Oh, okay. That's nice. I like the dog in Origins. I like all the characters in Origins.
All right. I recognize this beast. It is the Mabari war dog I helped back at the Ostagar camp. Don't tell me we're going to be traveling with that mangy mongrel. It's not mangy. Pant. He's just covered in blood. Okay. Isn't everyone constantly covered in blood in Origins? Every time you get to a little scrap, everyone's like plastered.
Yep.
God, that was amazing.
I was like, holy jeez, what did we do? We killed one Darkspawn.
Ms. Morrigan just covered head to toe in blood. Just like, does Val want a kiss? It's like, yeah, go on then.
Here's Dragon Age meme part 8. Beheaded by Grey Warden, put back together by Spirit for the sake of series continuity. Or Gator just decided to. Steal elven artifacts from Dalish clans, lecture Dalish about their lost culture. Oh.
I mean, from what we see of the Dalish, she's got a point.
Judging you, one might say my jokes are cheesy. And he's eating all the cookies because he stole it from that kid. Those are cute. Okay, fan art. That's just fan art, guys. Don't post your fan art in the memes, okay? It's nice, but you know, don't need.
I'm just gonna save that for scientific purposes.
You're same attitude 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. It's someone will die of fun. That was then. Now,
hates kids about.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the growth, but it's just pointless.
Yeah, it just happens all off screen. Just time skip. You're like, oh, I'm a tertiary character. It's like that's.
And I love the fact that it goes back. The Warden's a really good dad. Oh, by the way, he's gone, and we don't know where he is.
And the problem he's searching for, you've got the solution, but you never pursue it because it's not a thing you have to deal with, which is the corruption.
He's trying to stop the calling. Okay. Whatever that. However, he's on a quest to stop that. Whatever that means.
I don't mind flying, but what you're doing is suicide. Oh, bringing back those memes, man. Jeez.
It's only because I'm here. For some reason, everyone's gone 9/11 again. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Hunter Biden every time he buys crack and hookers. Yeah, it's pretty much. Or buys a gun. Yeah. Gotta put on Instagram. Yeah, look at that. Look at that really defined hair.
He had the ring. Okay.
Yeah.
Also red hair.
Prayer beads necklace. And
his scars changed too. And he had a beard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like that scar on his nose is only there because of he got that book thrown at him at the beginning of Dragon Age 2. And I'm like, book caused a scar? Jesus Christ.
There's his brother. I'm the pretty one. Okay. Sorry, that's not his brother. That's Mr.
Ogren.
Sorry?
It's Ogren, isn't it, from Origins?
Yeah, and I was trying to remember the name. Steve, what's his face? The voice actor for him.
Bloom.
Steve Bloom. Yep. I like you, but then I'd be careful. Frog time.
I was expecting her swooping is bad. They would play that fucking line.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll come.
Here is.
You gotta play the hits. Cassandra will show up just to make a disgusted noise and then walk out of frame.
I'm concerned what's going on. Who is he throwing?
Sarah.
And then who are these other two guys?
That's Cole.
And probably the generic brown elf inquisitor.
Oh. Okay, I mean,
I'd throw Sarah, yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, it's kind of funny. He's just picking her up and launching her for no reason. I can tell.
Big fat lesbian. Yeah.
You're useless. Go away. Thunk. Smack. Dragon Age 2. All of these areas look the same. I hope they improve this Dragon Inquisition. Where the hell am I? I think that tree looks familiar. What do you mean? I found only 3 of 26 locations. That's a good point because they overdid it on what they wanted to do, and they never followed through with it. They wanted to have like a working ecosystem of bears. Like if you kill a bear, they don't come back when you come back to that area because you eradicated them all.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, or the time,
Respawn.
or the real time system of like there's an event going on onto this part of the map, but we're going to go over here, like in the trailer for Mass Effect 1 with going to Khalistan.
Did you see the article that just came out recently that one of the devs of Inquisition admitted that when you sprinted on the horse, it didn't make you go any faster?
Yep. We knew that though. We knew the same with the Mass Effect reveal that they mentioned also the day prior.
Oh, right, where you sprinted in the Citadel, it didn't make you move any faster.
Yeah, back in 2007, I was like, wait a second, let me test this. So I actually went to one of the wards where it was straight, and I did that. And it's like, yeah, I timed it. There's no difference. And I thought that was just a bug because the game is buggy, so it didn't make it like it didn't really matter to me.
But no, they just changed the field of view so that.
Yeah, and because it's sprinting or what was it called? It wasn't called sprinting. It was called not dashing. It was charging.
Storming, I think.
It was a weird, stupid name. Storming. Thank you. The storming lasted like 3 seconds anyway, so you never used the storm button anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Who cares? All right, last one. So I shouldn't slit my wrists. I shouldn't slit my wrists and dance naked under the moonlight just to fit in. Oh,
You'll never get dialogue like that.
That is specifically the Blood Mage scenario where they just have to fight that dude outside that house. And that whole quest.
Yeah, it's the quest where it goes. Some mage has been sneaking out and doing rituals. But I don't agree with it. And he goes, oh, so I shouldn't slit my wrists and dance naked under the moonlight just to fit in. And it's like, nowadays you just go like, huh.
If they actually included how charming Hawke was to get into the nobility of Kirkwall or the people up on top, I could understand the rise to power with the time skip because he's just so charming. He just goes over for tea every week, say hello, brings a gift. And it's like, yeah, I kept doing that for a few years, and they just kept inviting me to the Parliament. I'm like, okay, that made me a lord. I don't know, it just happened.
They had one little bit of it where like he's hunting for mages, and he speaks to one of the parents. And like, oh, do you want tea? He goes, oh, perish the thought. I could be here all day, and stuff like that. But no.
Fortunately, they rushed the game through, and we got Power Ranger ending.
To be honest with you, they had 16 months of it, and I think it's not bad for 16 months.
Yep, it's a New Vegas scenario. They had 18. Well, they had 18 months, I guess, with New Vegas, but still, that time frame very tight, and they did some good stuff, and they did some lot of silly bad stuff, bad storytelling, but they did what they could.
If Bioware had improved on what they did in Dragon Age 2. We wouldn't be here at this point in time. With like 4 steps back.
I'm trying to remember how much money. I know Inquisition made more, but I know DA2 did sell well, just not as much as the first one. So.
They needed it to be like the biggest thing ever. And Inquisition only sold well because didn't they panic and bring it out a year before Witcher 3 came out? Deliberately to like dodge the hype for Witcher 3.
That's a interesting bit of info. I don't know, but
it came out in 2014.
That was the argument. The argument was, if you like The Witcher, you're going to like Dragon Age Inquisition because it is a party game, whereas The Witcher was a single view story. And as good as it was, that there was always other fantasy games out there, and BioWare was the next logical thing out there. So, yeah, I don't know.
I got into it now, and God, why was I so stupid that I missed that when it first came out? Good.
All right.
Can't deny it.
Well, guys, that was 3.5 hours of us rambling on about a trailer and our memories of things that were better. And again, it looks okay. It's not great. It's not that good, but it's not horrible. So
it looks super generic.
It is mediocre, just like Inquisition. It feels like Inquisition 2.5, and sadly,
Well, Inquisition had more stuff.
Well, even the reveal of the trailers from Inquisition was a lot better. The marketing was a lot better. Even that stupid animated thing of the hat, the helmet, and the Inquisitor pointing up to the sky, and there's a green dragon thing coming down. It's like, looks good. It's a theme. It's a thing going. This one, there's no symbol, there's no icon. The name has changed the last minute. The gameplay doesn't change. The music, nothing. Character doesn't. No characterization that I could feel from Varric or Solus or anyone else.
Anybody.
Yeah, Rook is just Rook. So, it's just a downer feeling. There's nothing there for me to care about. So, yeah, very sad. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. We will see what will come in the next few months, and we'll cover it because why not? We have the time. It's a great day. It's kind of
nothing else still.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Anyway, have yourself a good evening. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.
Bye.